because when you flow, it just comes out. And he said, I know you don't remember anything you said, but just know that I'm listening, and I can tell you that if you stop and think about it, that's when you overthink it and you may miss something. So he said, tomorrow, because I said, yeah, I think you have a speaking engagement tomorrow. He's like, then let it flow. He said, but do me one favor. I said, what? He said, don't forget to record it.
Hey, he's right. He's so right.
I told Queen Melissa the button is huge. I might have to post it on Instagram. Y'all like, really? All you have to do is reach over and click yes. I will forget to click. I'm that one.
I will remember that.
But yes, I'm really excited. They're going to actually be recording the whole conference, the retreat, not conference, retreat tomorrow, and it's going to be from 10 to 2. So I'm excited about it. You know, we prepared. We worked hard. I went to the store because we have a chef that's actually going to be doing a segment and preparing a dish, and we're going to be cooking it with him. So I'm interested to see if everyone's dish comes out the same. So that's a 45-minute segment, part of it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. We got a makeup person coming who's going to be teaching specifically about lashes. So, you know, and these are high-performing women who are trying to level up and cooking and looking good for your other or for yourself is part of that process. So we're building women up, you know, because we've been locked in. And most of them said, I haven't put on makeup in months. I said, well, we need a refresher because we need you to look like you looked before the pandemic.
That's wonderful. How do we get into that?
Well, it was released a couple of months ago, but it was for a specific group. But what I did is I met with the coordinator, and I told her, I said, we're going to have to take this on Clubhouse. I said, would you give it some thought? Because I know you have a career, but the team that we have is such a huge, it's a phenomenal dynamic. A lot of us are coaches. All of us who are on the platform are either coaches or aspiring coaches because we wanted to get mothers, women from different areas, those who had young kids, those who might have teenagers, those who are empty nesters. I'm the only one, I think, that doesn't have kids at home. But we wanted a wide variety of speakers to speak to each and every area that our audience, which is about 110, but they keep knocking on the door asking to come in. So I don't know what you're going to do about that. But, you know, we had cut off registration at 110 because we wanted them to have an immersive experience. And we wanted it to be more personable. So they're going to break up into groups as well with the activities. But we're really excited about it. And I told her we need to take this on the Clubhouse because I see a need there. And now that we've gotten the system down, let's not stop it here with a small segment of women. Let's open it up, pour into other women who can then replicate that for other women and keep it going down the line because, you know, we've got to really minister to, especially a lot of women who might be like me, where I live alone, even though I'm surrounded by people, my neighbors. But it's different. And you feel like you're missing that physical connection. But we all know that we can have a connection, even if it's on Zoom, we can have a spiritual connection with vibrations, you know, and that's something else we'll be teaching as well, how to get into it from the perspective of you can't touch this person because we're in COVID, but you should be able to feel their love. Let's see how you can feel that they care about you. So we're going to take some time. And what we did is we started out by issuing mantras like Monday through the time of the event. So on Monday, there was an aspiration that went out that said, Monday represents this, and this is who you are in God's eyes and in the way your creator made you. So each day they got a drip down of what was coming. So we wanted to kind of prepare them. And that was a surprise. They didn't know that was part of it, but it was. So yeah, we're really excited. But I told them we need to bring this on the Clubhouse. So she and I are going to be talking about how to do that. Because it's phenomenal. It really is. And I've been to another one similar to it, but it was very short. It was only for a couple of hours. And I got so much value from it. It really just made a difference. So, yeah, I'm glad you asked that.
What a blessing. I would love to be a part of that the next time it comes around.
Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. And her name is Joy. And I said, what a perfect name. Joy.
That's my daughter's middle name, Precious Joy.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love that name. It just makes me smile.
Mm-hmm.
And she is actually a reflection of that. So I said, tell your husband that once you get some rest and the kids, that you're going to be doing this for a much broader audience. I got some really amazing women, and I'm sure you all do too, that's in my life. And I feel like it's a calling to help pull them out of the norm because they're used to doing it for their circle and pulling them onto a more public stage where they can then create their own business model. Because I know this is her passion because that's all she does. I mean, she does it she's just so selfless. But she was grieving because one of our members passed away from COVID issues, and it hit her hard because they were very close. So, and it was sudden. So, I wanted to not pull on her too much, but she said she's ready. So, and I think she needs it. So I'm really excited, and she's such a joy, just a sweetheart.
That's wonderful and a blessing to hear. And sorry for her loss too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a tough one for us. Yes. But you know what? She's in a vet. She's up there with the Heavenly Father. She would not come back if she could.
Right. Yeah. I was speaking of Miss Deanna.
Say that one more time.
You're speaking of Miss Deanna.
Oh, no, I didn't know her. 10K actually told me more about her. I did not know her. Did you know her?
Yeah, she was truly a gem. Beautiful heart, inside and outside, just beautiful woman.
We've lost so many this year. We really have.
Right. Sad.
And we're just going to have to keep pouring. And what I say to people is, okay, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to give 110% of our vibration. So we got to fill up even more because we got to live for those who aren't here anymore too. We got to everybody got to sprinkle a little extra life for those who aren't here, who definitely would not come back because they're in a better place. For those that are in a better place. So I'm just excited about that for them and acting on that with joy, because that used to be hard for me. Because it was hard for me to imagine that they were like happy where they were, because you can't see that. And I realized it was a spacewalk. And the older I got, it was easier for me to understand that sometimes they're needed in another realm, and that's the permanent realm, and we have to release them. So but we can still operate in a spirit of joy and gladness that we had them for as long as we did. That gift, that light that was put here for that time. So it's amazing. And I'll pray for her family too. I know she had young children. That's a tough one.
Very much so. I agree with you. 110%. Giving a bit more.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited that we are here in the 10K card room talking about how we're networking smarter. And it's amazing because I can tell you that in the short time, and it seems like forever, in the short time I've been on Clubhouse, I have met some amazing people like you all. It just has warmed my heart. And I'm just wondering, like, man, where would I be if I had met them back when the pandemic started? Because I was so traumatized. But all things happen in due season. But I feel so abundantly blessed. And when I was in that meeting, because we had our final dry run meeting, we've had several, the energy that we were exuding was just like magnetic. And for those who had not been there, who came in, like the technology people, they were like, what is going on? You guys are like on 10. And we're like, we're excited, but we've been building up to this. And we just cannot help it because we are just excited about pouring into other other women, because a lot of us are out here on Clubhouse and different arenas speaking and helping, and it's just amazing. We're just excited because we want God's best for His children, and I'm amazed. I'm just simply amazed. But on that note, Queen Bridget, I have to tell you, you look like royalty to times 10. That crown is giving me life.
Oh, you're making me blush over here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am really, I'm just really excited. Some great stuff has been happening and coming together. And, I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to put it all together, So is 10K up there? Is he actually up there?
He's multitasking right now, so he may or may not. But we can always check in, and if it's important, I can ping him on. I have another tool to ping him.
No, it's not important. I just wanted to report back to him on something I had asked him about.
Okay, well, he likes good news. We'll see. Let me see. 10K, sir, are you available?
You guys are killing me in the background here. There's a lot of noise in the background. That's how much news.
Oh, he out partying. He having a good time, huh?
When your family look at you and give you that look like, baby, can we go to this place? You're like, okay, guess so. Yeah, so it's just more noise in the background here. But I'm enjoying the conversation, guys. If I'm needed, definitely reach out. I'll go find a quiet spot so I can engage.
No, Queen Bridget has a testimony.
No. I'll tell him another time.
Okay. No worries. We appreciate you. So I want to reset the room because we are now warming. I feel like we're warmed up now. You know how you have to get warmed up a little bit? Because I tell people, when I say Clubhouse streets, they're like, Tiffany, what are you talking about? I said, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I know you're not on Clubhouse. It's an app. And they're like, you're talking about it like you're going to a real place. I said, well, technically it is. It is. It's real people, but the emojis are not. They're like, okay, that's too much for me. But one of the things I want to talk about is how do you leverage what you're getting each and every day? And 10K asked this question in a different way yesterday, but it got me thinking. How do we leverage to the maximum potential Clubhouse? Or are we taking it for granted? Because he asked a loaded question. And I was like, I hadn't really thought about it. But I think about it in my regular world out here when I'm doing, building something or trying to leverage information and technology to my advantage. Why in the world wouldn't I do that in Clubhouse? And he said, are you positioning yourself the right way? And I'm like, what does that mean? Because we were talking about how we land in different rooms, because we've spoken about this in this room several times, and it's not what we thought it would be. People might not be in agreement with what we think they should be in agreement with. And it's an uncomfortable place to sit in. And then he said, well, think about it this way. What is your purpose of being in the room? Are you really there to engage the subject matter? Or are you there to sell yourself, to position yourself strategically, to align yourself with the right people at the right time doing the right thing? I'm like, now see, I thought that you had challenged us as much as you could, and now here you go again. But that was a loaded question. He didn't say it exactly that way, that I'm paraphrasing, but he was right. Because I've been in rooms where I'm like, you know what, all y'all doing right now is going back and forth. I don't understand. I don't like, I'm known for saying this. I don't like drama or chaos. I will exit the room. But the question was really related to, are you exiting your destiny while you pressing the exit button? I was a little bit uncomfortable. Because when I get a little uncomfortable, that means I'm being challenged to step it up and go to another level. What's your purpose of being there? And I thought about Jesus. I thought about the Lord. When he goes into the temple, he's a child. You know, his family's there to give their alms, pay their taxes, do whatever. Everybody has to go pay it. Their dues to Caesar. So he wanders off. Of course, they don't notice it till they're almost halfway home. But he wanders to the temple, and they're looking for him, and they're, you know, upset, like, and they find him. And they're like, "Aren't you concerned? Where have you been? You've vanished." He said, "I'm about my Father's business." They're looking around and seeing who's in the room, people who don't necessarily agree with his thoughts, because he's different. He's Jesus. He's divinity. He's the Word. And he's given light and love, knowing full well that these are the same doggone people that's probably going to crucify him. But he's given it, and he doesn't care of the consequences, because his mission is to share his message, to share what he's there to do, to align himself with the Word itself, and to give that out to other people. And of course, his family's still in a certain type of way, because they thought his job was to be with them and be obedient and be kids. But, you know, he's actually more than that. And he is about his Father's business, his daddy. So back to what Sean was saying about, are you okay with being uncomfortable in uncomfortable places and spaces, understanding that your reason for being there is not necessarily to align with the thoughts that are happening in the room. I thought that was deep. Because if you go deep enough, you'll realize that a lot of us, and myself included, I'm not immune, are good at exiting the room when maybe we're there to focus on our message alone and not what's being discussed or disagreed about, because really at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I thought that was loaded. I'm like, oh, he came in hot today. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I don't know. When it comes to exiting the room, it depends on why I'm uncomfortable for me. Two things, like especially on Clubhouse. One thing is I've come to a place where I have to protect my mind. I have to. And it's just so much stuff going out here, and I am a huge, huge empath, and I can easily take the weight of something else on me, and I get emotional, and sometimes it stops me from what I need to do. I back channeled Sean, and so I am going to mention what I was going to, what I shared with him. It was, I was looking at getting a coaching package, and it kind of fits in here. I was looking at getting a coaching package from somebody, and I do. I really respect them. They've done some tremendous stuff, you know, in the space of real, not just real estate, but a lot of other things. And that was why I was kind of drawn to them. And it seemed like we could truly connect, and they were making a way for me to connect with their program. So the last couple of days, I spent some time with them, and a lot of the other people that they're coaching or that they're looking to come into their program. And one of the things that and I don't know any other way to say this, but when it came to Trump, and when it came to a lot of things that were being said, I have always, I mean, but After I left Buffalo, I went to Oklahoma, and my family, my kids and my husband, that's where I met my husband at. But we were pretty much always the only minority in the situation at our church. Over 5,000 people. My husband and I were pastors, and again, we were pretty much some of the only minorities in the services. So, I don't have a problem connecting. However, when all of the Trump and stuff was being said, it hurt me from so many of my friends that I call my friends. And I have to say this because, I mean, for 10 years, these people were the only people that I had in my life. And I don't want to get emotional about this, but it still hurts me, some of the things that they said and how they excused their behavior for me and my husband, and could not see how it was affecting us and how how it was just that they justified it was okay for them to accept us, but not to accept our people. And like I said, for 10 years, I pretty much, put up that with, I never saw it because they loved on us in such a special way. So when all of the Trump stuff was being said, so many of these people that were there for my kids, for me, my husband, I couldn't fathom it. I just couldn't. So I guess it kind of triggers me when I hear, different people, especially being in North Carolina and stuff like that, some territories that I'm in, it triggers me, and it makes it very difficult for me to be in those spaces. So I have to protect myself and bring myself out of it. I can't. I know how I feel. I know it hurts my heart, and I have to protect me. So I have to exit. I was looking at this program, and I still have tremendous amount of respect for this woman. But while I was there, I kept hearing hints of the ideology of different things that they believe, or whether it's about voting, just, they weren't being political, but it's just different things that will be dropped about why this or why that, and just here and there. And I just found myself, I'm like, okay, I can't be in this environment. And I made a decision for myself that I have to be with somebody. I have to be with somebody that understands me and understands my people, and that's there to help not just me, but to help my people. And that has to be a requirement for a mentor for me. So I wanted to share it with Sean, because I had a situation where, and I wanted to, I asked him about it and everything. I wanted some feedback, and he was like, hey, so, do what you do. But I shared with him, I'm like, I decided against it because it didn't represent the same thing. It didn't, the ideology I need to be with my people. And it's not racist. I hope everybody don't.
I'm hearing everything you're saying, first of all. Second of all, here's what I want to share with you. I'm going to say this, and I hope everyone is literally understanding what I'm about to say right now. A few months ago, I was offered a multi-billion-dollar deal to take our company global. And it's not like we don't have plans to take the fucking company global. Of course we do. But someone sees the master plan as to what the heck is happening with 10K cars. And they're like, wow, we want to get it. We want to take it there now. So for about a week, I was involved in negotiations. And the problem with the fucking negotiation was, it was asking for a white CEO and a white financial controller. And that should remind me of slavery and a lack of trust for our people. Now, here's what I'm here to tell you guys. I believe in equality from all angles, from everything that I'm involved in. Equality must be included. And waking up the next week with some money in your account, and when you're about to die, you're gonna give it all away. That's me. Fuck all to me. Whatever I become at the end of my life, the name that I carry for my family is the most important thing. And there's no amount of money anyone can offer me for that. That's number one. Number two, I'm here to tell each and every one of you guys on stage right here, you're all priceless. You're all invaluable. Stop accepting a price tag on your talent. Stop accepting a price tag on your presence. One of the reasons I don't do one-to-one meeting anymore, I rather sit in front of a group like this, have a conversation and spark a few triggers that everyone in this room can go out and do great things. So when you mention something like that to me, Bridget, I'm so happy that you open up to the room because someone needed to hear that message. And I do believe God passes through a bunch of uncomfortable situations so we can come back out to the other side and prove to the rest of the world that He's real. So whenever something happens, don't you dare try to hide the gift God is trying to give to the world by passing you through those experiences. He will always present a reward on the other side. So always share your testimony, always share your experience. I'm not racial, but I'm all about equality amongst all. And any fucking time I meet someone that have that little bit of injustice within them, I'm gonna fucking squeeze the shit out of them. And they're not welcome anywhere around me. Okay, so whenever you guys see something and you're experiencing something, say something about it. If you're afraid of how you're gonna eat, reach out to your community members. We'll find a way to provide food for each other. But don't you dare sell your fucking soul for a paycheck or for a number. If something doesn't feel right, I can promise you one thing. If it doesn't feel right for you, it doesn't feel right for someone else. Always be your authentic self, no matter what that looks like. All right? I'm going back to mute, guys.
I love that. And that's exactly what I came to the conclusion that being in that environment, sure, they could, make the promise of me being in 6-figure, 7-figure, wherever I'm trying to go to. But at the bottom line of it, I was going to be uncomfortable in that environment because I knew that they didn't see me the same way that they saw each other. Anyway.
What would have been the cost to reclaim the version of yourself before that 6-figure? What would have been the cost to regain yourself? What would have been the cost to regain yourself? Answer that question.
I wouldn't be able to. I'm not going to
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So the point I'm trying to make to you is, at the end of the day, you need to decide what's the soul worth. Okay? And that's a non-refundable transaction, by the way. Because the moment you let that shit go, you have to live with the fucking cause and effects of it. And just let me tell you this right now. I want you guys to listen to me very carefully. If you're thinking the people that's offering you that number in exchange for your energy and effort is more valuable than you need to go get your head checked out. I'm going to say this again nice and slow. If you think the people that's offering you that number in exchange of your energy is more valuable than you, go get yourself checked out. Your energy is priceless. Don't let someone put a fucking price tag on that. Don't let them do it. Okay? Let us settle there for a minute.
Powerful. It lit up the room. Thank you, Queen Bridget, for sharing that, because someone needed to hear that journey. All along the way, people will always want to attach themselves to your glory, to the anointing that God has put in you. But when it's right, you'll know it. Your spirit will be at rest and at peace. I remember a situation where I was considering a partnership a number of years ago, about 4 years ago. And they told me to come up with a number, any number. I said, but what is the purpose of that number? They said, because when you sign this contract with us, we're going to own you. We'll own your book rights. We'll own your voice. You'll be, you'll be set for life, but we will own all of that. And I thought about it, and I prayed about it, but it didn't take long before God said, now, what do you worth to me? I said, oh, Daddy, I'm priceless to you. He said, exactly. When I turned it down, they were like, you can't get out of this. I said, yes, I can. I was only here to evaluate. I'm not staying. And I'll never forget it. The people who were saying, oh, Hosanna, Hosanna, then turned around and said, we'll see about that. And the person that brought me to them was so upset. He turned to me and said, I'll destroy you. The very one who's recruiting me. And I'm looking at him like, you do know that there's a such thing as, wait a minute, all lives matter. Wait, I'm the only black one in the room. What you mean? Excuse me? This ain't slavery. What's happening? I'll destroy you because you embarrassed me in front of my colleagues. I said, well, that is a shame. But my decision stands. So I understand, Queen. Oh, and it can get deeper than that. Imagine how many people said that to Oprah Winfrey. And then she bought Harpo Studios. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But people will want, and that's when you realize, man, I thought times had changed. Y'all just came out with it. You ain't going to try to hide your intentions. Now they're pretty bold with it. Because they would have done it and actually gotten what they wanted before. Until they meet that one queen, Bridget, that says, I don't think so. I decline respectfully. Because I know what I'm worth. Do we know what we're worth? Oh, we need to rename the room. Do you know your worth? Oh, Queen Bridget, you done opened up a can of worms.
That's tomorrow's room title.
Let me type it because you know I'll forget in the morning.
I like that. Oh man, your echo is going to miss you. Let me put you in mute for a second. Good love. So, guys, one of the reasons you'll hear me come off of mute from time to time, I don't want you to think you're going through anything alone. That's number one. Number two, as the founder, CEO, and sole shareholder of 10K Cards, it puts me in a very unique position that even someone with $500 million couldn't even have a fucking straight conversation with me. Because when he understands the whole structure of 10K Cards and what it meant, his eyes went so wide open because he didn't understand how something can grow so organic into the infinite. And that's why they were so hungry to be a part of it. And that idiot had the audacity to tell me, oh my God, how much we're going to make from this? And the way he started to speak, it sounded like it was his fucking company. So I just made a decision that it doesn't matter what happened, guys. The Apples of the world, the Googles of the world, the SpaceX of the world, this would be the 10K card of the world, guys. And I told you guys already, I found my spiritual being 6 years ago. So I'm fully aware that there's not a fucking thing anyone can do to me, guys. The me that you can see, touch, and feel, that represents only 1% of who I really am. It's the invisible part of me that makes shit happen. You can't see, touch, or feel it, you can only experience it. So with that presentation there, guys, I want everyone to always think of this. If the Creator made you, and Bill Gates is worth, how much of his worth? Elon Musk is worth, how much of his worth? What separates you from Elon Musk? What separates you from Jeff Bezos? Your decisions. Your decisions. So always remember, whenever you're making decisions, remember who you belong to. I'll say it again slowly. Whenever you're making decisions, remember who you belong to. I did a business transaction today where I found out that something wasn't 100% fucking amazing in my spirit. And I dug into the individual like a fucking little tiger, as usual. And in the end, I came back with some fucking blood on my hands, but it had to be done. And the reason it had to be done, anytime it comes to any member with an argument, you guys, I'm not going to stop until justice is served. You know, every great thing that was once done by a human being, just like me and you. And every day that you decide to live outside of your greatness, it's a day that you're going to regret, guys. So I want to challenge you guys from now on, from today, accept nothing but the best no matter what that looks like. God did not create you guys to be second. He didn't create us, sorry, to be second class citizens. He created us to be first class. All right? Let's always make a commitment to live from that first class side of life, guys. With that, Queen CEO, the mic is yours.
And every time that brother come off the microphone, he be dropping some bombs. Jesus, yes, Queen Melissa, come on.
It be spitting fire.
Thank you.
It does. He does. And, you know, and it's kudos to him and big ups to him for not selling out to the company that wanted to buy it. You know, he thought enough about others and what it could do for others if he didn't sell out. But if he didn't sell the company to them, he thought about everybody else. And that takes some applauding to do, because some of us would have sold out and let them buy the company. And the next thing you know, it's just whitewashed or whitewashed out of it. But he stuck to his vision and stuck his ground and said no, because he realizes it's bigger than him and it's not for him. It's for everybody else. That's a leader. Salute to you, Sean. I just wanted to add to that. Love it. That, you know, it's so the difficult thing is for us, or not for us, for anybody in business, is to make sure is to turn down the quick money, you know, because a lot of times the quick money isn't long money. It doesn't last, and like you said, generally it comes with some sort of compromise. And at what price are you willing to sell something that's more precious than it is? I think it was it's a story about a guy who gave his daughter a car for her birthday. And he tells her to go and go down to the I think with the pawn shop first, and they said $100 for the car. It was an old car. Second time, go down to, I think it was the auto dealership or somebody, and they said, well, it will give you $1,000 for it. He said, well, now go down to this club over here and see how much they'll give you for it. And they came back and it was over $100,000 because the car was this priceless car. It was a collectible. Even though it was an old car, nobody knew the price of it, except those who were specializing in it. And so often, you know, we'll sell it short or whatever just because somebody gave us a offer that's not really what our worth is. And I can't wait till we do that room about understanding our worth, because we have so much treasure in us, and that's going to be a great room, a great topic to talk about. I'm Bridget, and I'm out. It's definitely understanding the value, you know, like to your story, Bridget, you know, the lady or the girl went to 3 different places, and the first 2 places didn't understand the value or see the value in the car until she got to the people that specialized in it. They saw the value. They knew the value of that car. And when you know what you know and you know what you know, nobody can take that from you, because you know your worth and you know your value. Go ahead, Sean.
All right, so I want you guys to listen to something very simple, very clear. Don't allow someone to manage you. Manage yourself. Don't allow someone to manage you. Manage yourself. This is what I mean when I say that. If someone, like, let's go back to that example where President was, Queen Tiffany was offered a contract in exchange for her right to choose. They said, give us any number. It's not a problem. We'll pay, but we're going to own you thereafter. Will someone pay $10 for something that's worth $1, or would someone pay $10 for something that's worth $100? You're more likely to pay $10 for something that's worth $100. So if they're willing to pay her any number in exchange for the rest of her life, the question is, what is she worth? Because they never told her what price to give them. Is that correct, Tiffany?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
So here's the problem. If you said 10 million, that means you're at $100 million valuation. If you said 100 million, that means you're probably, I think it's like what, $10 billion evaluation. So the point I'm trying to share with you is, it doesn't matter what number you offer. The number that you have been getting in return of what you're worth, ballpark was approximately 10%. And the way to find out your valuation, find out what's the richest man in the world. Or go to the richest man in the world, because I think it's Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. And then I want you to measure the value of that individual. What, you're going to tell me that what? No, he's already established, he's already positioned? Don't worry about that. You can build certain formulas that can enlist partnership with others that's going to get you up to those kind of statuses. Just for you guys to know. Don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself on what's possible. Because I've studied every fucking thing but Elon Musk, right? And he's the kind of extreme guy I like. And what Elon Musk is doing, guys, I promise you one thing. I take example from Elon Musk, from Starbucks, from Apple, and from Chick-fil-A. I study all of these companies under a microscope. And then I always make sure whatever we're doing is in compliance with all these giants and more. And more. Because if you want to win them, you have to do a little more than they're doing. But at the bare minimum, make sure at least doing what they're doing. Okay? I want us to fall in someone this evening. You know what? It's no coincidence that David just hopped into the room. David, hop upstairs really quick. You guys are gonna laugh your ass off. David, when you put me on the phone with the money guy, I want to share with the audience exactly what that conversation was about. Go for it. I want them to see how consistent and congruent I am. When you put me on the phone with the money guy, what's my answer?
Yeah, first of all, the brother who was on, he was trying to be the middleman to get us like $500,000. And he had talked to me, and I had talked to my co-partner. For those who don't know, I'm the president of the Pick TV network, a brand new network on Roku with 60 channels, which is a multi-million-dollar investment television network with 60 channels, not 60. So every hour the show comes on or 30 minutes, there's money coming in from that. And we are going towards 1 million people. But because Sean is he's my business mentor and a part of our network, I said, let me get Sean on and see how much money that's on the table that Sean may want to grab. To my knowledge, the guy came on and he told us about this bill. He told Sean about this bill, about the $1 million or $500,000. And he said, well, Sean, how much do you want to give? And Sean said, not one dime. You know, so I was laughing. I was laughing because Sean, the call was a money call. It was a money call. And when Sean said not one damn dime, not one.
All right, guys. David is Christian. He can't really say it. I said, I don't want a fucking dollar. Okay? Just for you guys to understand actual context. Because David don't know how to put it without crossing the barriers of his Christian language. I'm like, I don't want a goddamn dollar.
Hey, son, that guy haven't called me back since, man. He haven't called me back.
You probably lost a friend. Can't blame for the minute to call. What one of the reasons I destroyed that avenue, and I want you to listen to me carefully. When someone from outside of the culture is trying to put fund into the pocket of someone from within the culture to extract $4 from others within the culture, there's a problem there. But we can't always see that from a bird's eye view. If ever I'm going to collect $1 from anyone where invested is concerned, my brother, I'm going to make sure it's going back into the culture. Because I'm invested back into my culture, my brother. We're going to build exceptional product to sell to all nations, all cultures, no problem. But when it comes to reinvesting back in the community, that's where they're gonna have to bury me, my brother. Back into my fucking community. Because you have you have post-slave syndrome, you have all these other stuff that our people are suffering from. And where's the support gonna come from? The support have to come from within, bro. So everything that I do, guys, respectfully, I do it for the culture. And that's why I will go through whatever I have to go through to make sure we come out on the other end to show the support for our people. That's how I'm wired, and I make no fucking apology for it. And another thing I want you to remember, David, people are only trying to leverage your future earnings by giving you a deposit now. Say it again, nice and slow. I want you to catch it. These quote-unquote bankers and all these kind of guys are leveraging your future earnings to give you a deposit on it now. And the moment you take that deposit on that shit, it's your future earnings that's gonna have to pay back for that overall amount. And the commission is hidden inside of it for them, okay? Just be aware of that.
Big Sean, I learned from you, man, about almost 5 years, about 5-month relationship, is that hard work pays off. When I first got the 10K card and I looked at it, because I've been in social media for the last 20 years, I said, this is the card of the victory. I knew it was a no-brainer. I got 40 people on that week. Everybody I knew who was top people to sign up to get the 10K card. Because I knew that this card is something that's going to go to 2030. And the beautiful thing about it, Sean delivers. Every time I put him on, he picks up the phone. That card is there in less than an hour. These people are smiling. What does that do? That puts them ahead of the game. That also, you don't have to try to play around building a fake card and trying to do it yourself. No, I don't have time for that. My 10K card has everything. And then I developed a relationship with Sean to find out this guy is 100% business. I said, Sean, when am I going to sleep this? You sleep when you're dead, man. He pushed me. He don't like me to talk about it, but I'm going to say it for you guys. When the MGM opened up 2 months ago, they were closed because of COVID. And because of Pick TV Network, I see monitors in there. So I had a chance to go in and talk to some top people about getting us on in or another area in there. And I went in there and I came out and I said, Sean, I got a deal with the MGM. I think I got it. He said, no, don't think. Go back in and get it. I said, who are you? He said, you're a child of God, right? I said, yes, I am. He said, go back in and get it. I went back in there and sealed the deal, not with them, but with MGM. Oh man, we got a deal down in Las Vegas at a resort down there, and barbershops, nail salons, beauty parlors, homes, 56.3 million people. And I'm a surprise, Big Sean, because we're getting ready to do a 10K channel this fall. As soon as the things slow up, we're going to do a big media blast, a global media blast. And I just talked to 2 stars. I'm a surprise, Sean. 2 stars I talked to today and yesterday. I don't know if you guys remember, he played with the Los Angeles Lakers, and he played with Golden State Warriors. I just did a 2-minute pitch with him on tonight. And I did another interview yesterday, 2 minutes, with another big star who played with Will Smith. I want Sean to see these people because I did videos recorded with them. So he's a businessman, and we need people who will push you to the top. See, I call Sean the man that never sleeps. This guy he's a machine, not a human being. I think that's just a human being.
David, I'll do something like this for you, David. I'll do something like this for you. Dinas was at the event, right? Dinas, what's up? You in the building?
Yes, sir.
What's up, brother? Hi, today. First off, it was great seeing Atlanta, hands down. When you were at the event, Dinas, what kind of presents did 10K cars have at the event?
Omnipresence. He was
that is the way to put it, my brother. And the reason I agree with that term immediately, I remember when I came onto social media, I called my one of my agents and I said, I'm about to obtain omnipresence in the next 10 years, but I'll be one of the top 10 influencers in the next 5. I needed to get on board. You're going to give me the first month for free. And after the first month, you'll never have to worry about income ever again. And she's still with me, just for you guys to know. So, Dinas, the question is, when you saw me at the event, was I afraid to sell anyone the goddamn card? Was I afraid to have anyone carry a 10K card?
Not at all. Not at all. He was customer service on the scene. At least for me, I saw other people that you were working with too, fixing the cars and helping them be able to work with it and use it right on the.
That's it. And in terms of people having the card, what percentage of the audience would you say had the card? And if they didn't get it, were they in a position to get it after we were finished speaking?
Yeah, man, I had to say pretty much everyone that I talked to had the card, and we switched contact info using the card, and it was a lot of people that was getting the card on site.
You want to know what we have coming for Miami trip? You'll be able to scan one QR code and get everyone that's going to be at the event.
He's always thinking about going to the next level. That's what I like about him. He's always thinking forward.
Let me see. I believe William was there as well. William, were you at the event?
Hey, Sean, how's it going? Yeah, I was at the event.
What was your account of the event where 10K cards was considered, William?
Oh, I like it because you can network and it's a one-stop shop. You can look at everything on the 10K card.
And for the next event, when you can scan one code and see all the ticket holders that's there, you're gonna see the 10K card for all the ticket holders. What do you think that's gonna do for the movement?
I think it's very powerful because you can see everybody that's right there.
There we go. So no need to go asking for any goddamn card anymore. Just ask them, what's your name again? Oh, let me go find you on the list. And I just go start finding them on the list. That's all. So that's the plan. That's the plan for the next one. And the reason I mentioned this to you guys is very simple. We were offered big money to get the company, and anyone at the event understood the powers of the 10K card at that event. And that was just a sample. That was just a taste of what we can do. So when you imagine we start doing this at every event, can you imagine how freaking popular the product is going to become?
I love it.
And then the organic growth. Yep, and the organic growth of it all is what makes the entire difference. Because we don't want to eat alone. We don't want to, you become a premium card holder, you get to eat 20% in every transaction as well. And that's how we look to go. Because when I made a decision that I wanted to obtain omnipresence, and that's why when Dina says omnipresence, it was funny for me. Because when I made a decision that omnipresence was the goal, I said, okay, I'm going to need to give away 20% to make some lasting friends. Because if you have broke friends, they're going to fucking drop your ass off the radar. But if you have friends that you're eating together with, well, we want to keep upgrading the meals that we're eating. So we're going to keep working together. So that's just my mindset where that is concerned, guys. But I want to say thank you guys so much for being at the event, and the testimonials was awesome. And that was just a taste of what we have coming. So let's keep looking forward to some great stuff. With that said, guys, I am going on mute. The Y CEO is in control.
Wow. Oh, yes, Queen Bridget. Go ahead and jump in while it's fresh. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to share. I was at a 2-day conference, and like a marketplace kind of thing. It started out like a training, and then, you know, today was more or less like, you know, kind of pitching and everything. I will say that, first of all, it was virtual. So, of course, I had my 10K card and QR code right there on my screen. So if, you know, they can scan that. But the thing that I really absolute loved, as far as when it came time to close someone and we got on the phone, the first thing I would do is send them my 10K card and then tell them exactly where to go so that they could put their cash in. Then if they were, you know, setting up an appointment, they set up the appointment with me right there on my 10K card. And then I always close with, by the way, if you like, right here is your free demo card, and go ahead, put your information in here. And it was just amazing. I'm looking forward to doing it more. I only had got an opportunity to close about maybe 4 people today, but everybody I closed, I got to a place, it was so easy for them to click on my payment, and I stayed on the phone, waited for them to give me my payment before I moved on to the next one. So I just absolutely loved it.
One of the things I really, really love as well is the payment platform that you signed up to. You want to tell the audience a little bit about the payment platform?
Oh, yes. And oh my gosh, that even was so amazing. The payment, PEYMYNT, also a Black CEO, Black-owned company, replacing PayPal and Square. I absolutely love it. I signed up for that platform to be able to take payments. It was the easiest thing ever to not just create invoices, but create a checkout link for all of my products. So every last one of my products now on my card, normally they would have to go to my website, look for the link, and or even if I direct them to the page on my link, they still would have to go through quite a bit to get to the checkout. So this way, my checkout is right there. It gives them a little blip of what the product is, and then it has for them to fill in their information and then take their money. It's as easy as, even if for some that wanted normally to use Cash App or something like that, but it's an alternative for that, for them to go ahead and put it right there if they don't have a Cash App or something. So it was good. Like I said, it was so easy for them to take the payment. And there was another guy in the marketplace. He actually made $1,000 sale. However, he sent the invoice via email. Didn't get the person. We went through training with this later, but he didn't get the person to actually close right then and there. He didn't really have a place for them to pay. I would have pitched payment at that point, but I didn't have the floor. But anyway, it was an amazing.
Spoiler alert, right? Because now Bridget understands the payment alert. Bridget, I want to check out the 2 links that I just sent you. And then I want to study those links, and then you're going to come back on camera, and you're going to come back on mic and share with everyone exactly what you're looking at. That's step 1. Step 2, I'm going to want us to host a few rooms together where you can share with individuals exactly how to register for their payment and exactly how to start building their marketplace with the payment checkout. Is that something you think you can take on, no problem? I'm sending it also to the Y CEO. There's a reason I'm sending it to these two individual guys, because it's the overall benefit for you guys to look at. In fact, you know what? Let me see if I have my 10K card. If you guys go to my 10K card on Instagram, just click on the payment link. And when you click on the payment link, let me see exactly what the button says. I don't want to follow. So we go to Instagram, click on my the link in my bio, and then it's the 3rd button on the, oh shit, it's actually the 2nd button on the right. It says register with payment. When you click on register with payment, I want you to choose the button that says send me a payment using, oh no, I'm so sorry. The button that says 10K cards payment menu. Click on the 10K course payment menu and look what we have developed from the payment platform. So before we go dive deep into that, Bridget, did you get a chance to look at the link I sent you? Hey, Bridget, you there?
I was coming back from Instagram. Yes,
She was in the back channel.
Yeah. So Bridget, you want to check your back channel. Everyone else will go to Instagram and check the link on the bio. I sent Bridget and the YCO the payment and the stuff. So what we did, Bridget, we combined payment, PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, and Venmo. Because when it's time for someone to pay me, I don't want to hear, I don't have a credit card. Great, we have Zelle. I don't have Zelle. Great, we have Cash App. But I don't have Cash App. Great, we have PayPal. But I don't have Great, we have Venmo. So any form of payment, we put it all in one place. Did you see that, Bridget?
I did. That is so super hot, and I love the way it looks. It flows. It's good. It's a nice button. It's easy. They can't, like you said. Hey, everything is there. I love it. Love it. Love it.
It reminds me of a merchant processing machine that they give you to take with you when you're a vendor. Except
you go.
It's digital.
And what we do, Tiffany, is we're gonna do a class. We're gonna do a class in teaching other members how to create it for themselves. Because every consultant in this room needs to have one of those set up. They need to have a nice little bio by themselves. Give their clients an option to choose some time with them, and then make their payment. And with the payment platform, not only is it Black-owned operated, but I love the platform. It's nice and clean. It's clean, it's simple, and it gets the mission done. So, Bridget, let me ask you, if you were to tell anyone here on stage why they should go with payment, and guys, just so you guys to know, the reason I'm promoting payment so heavy, it's a Black-owned operated company. It's a young fella that's growing his business just as organic as we are. And but he's just a little more reserved when it comes to hitting the marketplace than I am. So I'm one of his unofficial loudspeakers. So Bridget, what would you say to anyone here in the audience for the payment platform?
Well, a couple things. Number one, I don't know if any of you guys use PayPal a lot, but especially for high ticket items, every time you get a new client that's over $500, they have a tendency to hold payment, over $500 or $1,000, they hold payment for 7 to 10 days to verify for high ticket items. The other thing is every payment they take out their portion. So unless you're, obviously charging it up front. So if I say an item is 500, obviously I think I might get $485 on that item. They take it out automatically. But the other part, so those are two things. The first two things that I loved about payment was, one, it didn't take me 7 days to get my payment. It was like within 24, 48 hours, I was able to get my payment. The second thing was, and like, for example, even for a low ticket item, $20, instead of them actually taking the fee or of whatever they used out, it was billed up front. And it was such a small amount that the client didn't even, they didn't bother about it at all. The fee was built in. I didn't have to put it in or take it out or whatever. It was built in automatically. So that was another thing that I liked. The other thing, which was ease for me, as soon as I put my logo in, it automatically took the colors from my logo and built an invoice for me that I didn't have to position or do anything for. They gave me a few choices. I picked the best one that suited for me, for my invoices, for also for my page. So it matched my logo and my brand immediately. So for me, not having to think about it, not have to figure it out, that was absolutely. And then lastly is they have an affiliate link, and everybody that you send it to and they get signed up, you get $100 for. So of course I've been sending it out like crazy, hoping that that they actually choose to use it, because it really is a great platform, but also having that affiliate link on the back end for something that everybody uses. And then the last thing for me is it is Black owned, supporting another Black owned business that's actually in other places that PayPal can't go. It's just, for me, was a no brainer. That's for me.
So you're saying they put their customers first and PayPal puts its profits first. That's one reason that a giant conglomerate like eBay decided to jump ship and have their own payment system, because even they realize that PayPal is not good for business and retention of customers.
What I'll do, I want to make a declaration as well to anyone that's not from the community. And as a global businessman, I believe in equal rights and justice. I believe in equality across the board with everything that we do. And we can all agree that within the marketplace, people from within our culture have been basically pushed to the bottom of the line. And the evidence is all over, it's all among us. We are in a very unique time in history where people from within the culture are actually demanding ownership. We're demanding the right to actually build our empire. And here's what I normally say to my friends outside of our culture. And this is, Denise, my love, I have unconditional love in my heart for you. And Pamela, maybe you might be a little light-skinned, I'm not sure what's going on. So here's why I'm saying this, guys. If you can agree that our culture has added value and made a contribution towards Denise building her empire, I think now it's time for us to build our empire, that everyone from the other cultures, either A, support us, or B, get out of our way. Because with this being construction time, we're not going to stop. And I think the fair thing is either A, they lend us their support because we were there for them when they needed us the most, or B, just kindly get out of the way so we can do our own construction. So whenever I'm in the room, Denise, I don't want you in any way to feel funny, because in your heart, I know you're for equality and justice. And those are the only environments I lend my energy to. Okay, Denise.
Sean, I'm so for this, and you will see, if you go to my website and look at the women I have been interviewing, there are 6 on there right now. I think 5 or 6, and one of them is a white woman. The rest of them are women of color.
God damn, they're gonna stone you. You gotta play. They're gonna call you a sellout. I feel like it's where
God has put me, and He's put me there for a reason. And I swear to you, every woman I meet says, "I swear you're my white sister." And so, I'm good with it, Sean, and I love it, and so much so that I am promoting women of color through my vlog. So
I totally appreciate that, and I'll give the other speakers a chance to voice their response on that. And also, here's what I want to share with you as well. At the end of the day, whenever we see right, we have to applaud it. Whenever we see wrong, we have to do something about it. And whenever you can add value towards the better tomorrow of others, we should always make that commitment and put our energy in that area. Because when we get to the end of our lives, we can only look back and be comforted to all the great work that we have done and all the value that we've added to this beautiful place that God put in place for us. There are a few people who run around the environment destroying stuff, and we just need to exclude ourselves from that destructive element and be the ones that's going to add the value, okay? And again, I always say one thing, guys. Your energy is non-refundable. Choose wisely as to where you're going to disperse that energy of yours. I'm going back to mute, guys.
That was bomb number 5, y'all. I've been trying to keep track over here. Every time he comes off mute, boom. something explodes, then it's for the better. You know, Proverbs tells us that we, which is all of us, we're more precious than rubies. Nothing that I desire can compare to the qualities that God has put inside of me. Long life are in my right hand, and my left hand are riches and honor. My ways are pleasing unto God, and all my paths are full of peace. Because I'm the tree of life, and those who take hold of me, those who hold me, will be blessed. I'm just so full by what Mr. 10K said. And you know, my prayers go out to the 10K babies, because can you imagine the speeches that they get when they get in trouble? Okay, we can move on from there. I'm pregnant. But it's powerful. And I love seeing what we're doing in our community. And what Queen Bridget just shared about her experience over payment is a testimony to me, because I spend more time trying to design things that reflect my brand. And when there's someone that considers that, so when I upload the logo, that's something that PayPal does not do. It automatically matches the color scheme. Well, you just saved me half a day of designing to make everything flow together. You just bought me some time, and you're going to give me $100 for referring my customers. So when my customers see it, they're going to automatically say, what's that? They like me. What's that? Okay, let me go see. Let me click that link. Thank you, Queen Bridget, for sharing that, because that opened up my heart. And the fact that you said also that payments has gotten rid of that barrier to you getting your funds. PayPal is notorious for holding on to people's money for no good reason and snatching it. Now, every now and again, if there's fraud involved, okay, we understand. Do what you got to do. But they've been known for targeting those who are just trying to make a living because they see a benefit and they are reaping a harvest. They get something called interest. No matter how long they hold it, they don't have to give it to you. It means that it's not keeping the interest of your customers at heart. Because technically, are you really a bank? That's the question. I'm not going to answer it. But instead of a payment process. Because most of us who've been out here in these streets processing payments long enough understand the difference between a payment processor and a bank. And that big question has been unanswered for years with PayPal. I, for one, have jumped ship with them a long time ago, and I only use them to make payments, and they keep trying to set up an account. I don't want no account. Just send the payment, because it's all the people take now.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful. Yes, ma'am.
No, I was just seconding what you had just said about that. I mean, they keep trying to get you to get an account.
I know, and the organizations, I'm working with them now, and they said, well, Tiffany, we're going to increase the fees. I said, why? Because PayPal is it. Wait, we are 501c3. What do you mean PayPal is trying to charge you? They said, well, they took it. Okay, see, now we got payments. So now I'm going to be pushing payments, because I'm filling out a form right now for the members that I lead in an organization to submit their dues. And guess what? They don't have to go to payments, because I ain't got time for these games now. You got to get us our money, because we got some work to do out here in this community. And I don't want to be worried about, are you going to give it to us or are you not? So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
That held me up. One time I had a contractor that was supposed to get paid. And so, you know, we had payment go through PayPal, and I could not pay anybody because everything was held up, and they kept the payment and said, oh, well, you know, we have to verify that this person is who they, and I understand that, but I mean, this was my client. I issued the invoice and they kept the money. But I absolutely love payment. I'm still getting to go around it, but they have built-in checkout, built-in receipts, and built-in tracking depending on, you know, which product you get. Obviously, you can start out with the free product, which is no fee to you. But if you decide to go up and utilize some of the other tools that's in it, I think it's a $49 plan, and I can't remember what the big one is. But the needs that I have was right in the $49 plan, which again, what I was getting was nothing compared to what PayPal gives.
Oh no. It's interesting to watch the trends. I watch the trends even when I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Because, everyone's going to try it. You got a criminal element out here, and they're just going to just throw out a whole bunch of little feelers and see who they can get to bite, and usually they'll find an idiot. So I'm on Facebook. I get a message from a guy. I had taken down a listing. And I mentioned earlier today in the Clubhouse that I'd lost a tremendous amount of weight, a person, over the past several years. And so I'm selling a lot of my clothes. I sell them because, why not combine more? And so I had one of my furs, because, you have to make sure you close that it's real fur, because in some, I think California, they have some kind of regulation. So I took it down because I put it up at the end of the winter season because I'd forgotten about it. And I took it down and said, well, it's warm. I'll relist it later. Well, apparently some people saved it or what have you, but I get a message today, this morning. Is that fur still available? And I said, yes, it is. And they say, I would like to buy it like now. I need it right now. I said, okay, what's the emergency? Oh, I need to send it to my son. I guess he forgot that it was a female fur coat, but anyway. I need to send it to my son in wherever he was, and I'm going to give you up to, I'll give you $150 for shipping. I'm like, wow, that's, pretty round, flat number. I said, well, yes. He said, all I need is your PayPal email. I said, well, I use several different processors, and I prefer not to use PayPal, primarily for the sole reason that you asked for it. I didn't say that, but I thought it. I said, I prefer to send you over to this other platform, and the link is there, and all you have to do is go through it, because I know they're going to find out if you're a real person or not, because PayPal may or may not do so. And then who's stuck with the bill? That'll be me. And who's stuck with a furless fur? Oh, that'd be me too. And that ain't going to happen. And I'm like, so you fixing to send me almost $2,000 for this coat through PayPal so hurriedly, like right now. And then when I tell you to go to the other system, you go silent. I was not born yesterday or last night or this morning. But the thing that occurred to me, that didn't bother me because I just muted them. But the thing is, I asked the question, why PayPal? Because we've been led to believe that they're so secure, even though I hear stories. Why PayPal? I know you're a scammer. I know you've either hijacked someone's account or some, don't have any followers on Instagram, just like, I know you're just a fisher, fishing. But why PayPal? So when you were speaking, Miss Bridget, my mind got to thinking back to that because I actually forgot about that. I said, you know what? Why would they say PayPal of all the places in the world? Because they've done it and they've gotten away with it. And it was a large amount of money for a high-ticket item. And you're just going to send it to me on PayPal? It's so easy. And even though I kept saying, go to this other platform, here's the link, they kept saying, I still need your PayPal account, as if I'm deaf and dumb. Yeah, we with furs are deaf and dumb. But it just really bothered me that was what they wanted to do, because obviously they had done it before. And I'm like, how many people have fallen for this? You've given them $150, which is so round. Criminals always are stupid. They always come up with a round number. And I said, well, this other platform is going to ask you for specific information, and I'm really sad to break it to you that the shipping is only going to be under $25, but I'm so sorry that you wanted to pay $150. But security, because I know that payments is new, and I understand how the regulators work through this. They have stricter measures for new. I'm safer sending this idiot through payment than I would PayPal. Because obviously he's open to PayPal. He's probably commandeered some innocent person's PayPal account that's legitimate, that has his password compromised somewhere in the ether. and they're just going to move on to the next person that's a knucklehead and do the same scam. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because people need to be aware that PayPal is not secure, nor have they really ever been very secure. And every now and again, they'll swoop in and freeze a bunch of accounts only because the regulators are looking at them. That's the only reason they do that, and for their own financial gain. So they really are not about protecting you or the customer. That's the thing I like about payments, because when I started going through their system, I noticed that there were different checkpoints. And I haven't finished setting up my account yet, but I noticed that there were different checkpoints, and they asked me to validate who I was with the documentation that they needed. That's important. That means they're dotting their I's and crossing their T's and making sure that they've got their ducks in a row. Because there's also another system that people don't know about out here, where they will put your EIN number and they will validate if that is your business or not. EINs are not private, they are public information. And they have databases that you can cross-check that. But unless you're on the back end of finance, you wouldn't know that. But it's a good thing. So, when I'm looking at their system and the questions that they're strategically asking me about my business, I know it's for a valid reason, because they want to validate my business. PayPal, I don't believe I said, do you need my EIN? Oh, no, you put in your personal information. I said, but I'm a business. So, it is what it is. But what I can say is payments I'm really excited about as far as payment processing, because I've actually been talking to QuickBooks and my bank's back-end office, because I'm looking at their integrations, and so far, nothing has impressed me. And I said, I'm the wise CEO. I do things decent and in order, and I want to make sure that the payments are secure, that are going to be coming from my clients. I need to ensure that they're safe, that their stuff can't be intercepted. I've gone through PCI compliance training. I know what that looks like. So I needed to make sure that my people are safe, because that's my job. And by you doing your due diligence and sharing with us your experience, that helps me with my due diligence. So I appreciate that, Queen. I really do. Thank you. Okay, Queen Cynthia, I had to take a minute and I had to practice. Queen Cynthia is in the house. How you doing? Uh-oh, I was on mute. I believe she still has a grandbaby, so she might be pulling double duty tonight. She may come off mute when she gets ready to. But yes, you are in the 10K Cards house. We are talking about networking smarter in the Clubhouse and life. And I can tell you, out here in these Clubhouse streets, you need a family to migrate with you. So come on in and make yourself comfortable. It's nice and warm and cozy in here. And more importantly, we watch out for each other. So, yeah. And you know what? John 10K is pretty awesome. He's honest, and he's open, and he can help you. The man is like a ninja when it comes to business, and he knows every angle. I think he just knows that he's just a gift from God. He just knows. So I'm glad that he's one that you could come to, Queen Bridget, and all of us. We know he's like our big brother. Oh, Queen Bridget, did you go to Clubhouse 2.0?
I'm sorry. No, I couldn't come off. I'm sorry. No, I think I had mentioned I was supposed to be in actually Las Vegas, and literally the day before, I canceled my trip. One, I needed to get some work done, but two, my son told me he had COVID, and I was a little overwhelmed anyway. So yeah, he's good though. He's doing amazing, and he had his vaccine, so I know we got some.
Okay. Was he in pain? I hear it's very painful. Was he feeling okay?
He's feeling fine. You know what? My son has asthma, and his lungs is already at like a 70%. So my biggest concern was, how are you breathing? This was the second time he's had COVID. he had COVID in January, and he also, like I said, he had also had both of his shots vaccine, and so he did get it again. He is around a lot of people a lot, and he was actually a little disturbed because he didn't get it out. It was somebody who actually came to us, so he was a little upset about that.
Oh, wow. Oh, interesting.
But he did say that this time he felt it more in his chest, but at the same time he did good. He said most just tired, just really tired.
Okay. Well, I'm glad he wasn't in pain because I spoke with someone today. I was out at work, and he said the biggest issue is he was hurting so badly. He said it was his brother. He said the pain was excruciating because he went to Florida to visit his mom and dad, and he was supposed to see his brother but couldn't because he was over the COVID, but he was still kind of quarantining because of shedding. I guess he didn't want to risk it because he has younger children to come home to and take care of. And he said his brother said the worst part was the pain was almost unbearable. So I think it also depends maybe on the strain or the level. It's just such a mysterious illness. But I'm so glad he's doing it.
I don't know why I have an echo, so please forgive me if I'm echoing. But yeah, I have been trying my best to stay safe. I'll be going to Florida next week. My daughter is playing volleyball. So her school last year, they didn't get an opportunity to see anybody, but I get to go. But as far as 2.0, no, I missed that, and I will be in Miami. I am excited about that. I'm really looking forward to meeting some of these powerhouses that I'm hearing on Clubhouse. I heard about all of the wonderful time that you guys had in Atlanta. Not just the networking pieces, but just even in coming together, the deal pieces, and everybody has something going right now. So it's such an exciting time.
Oh, this is a now season, yes, and I'm going to bring on another queen who's going to talk about it too. Queen Kimberly, how you doing?
Good evening. Queen Kimberly still has a raspy voice. Sorry.
Oh no. Baby.
Is that from the 2.0?
Yes, ma'am, it was. And I've been talking to so many people, and I've just lost my voice.
Okay, you can't, no more. When you've got laryngitis, you got to rest those vocal cords. But we see your smiling face, and we know your spirit is with us. Oh, it's such a sweetheart. And, Kim has such a sweet voice. Oh, I miss it. But you know what? Rest it and just lay down and drift away and enjoy your sleep. Shiloh, how are you doing tonight? I can see your face. Shiloh, are you there? Okay, he may not be there right now because
I'm here. Sorry,
no worries.
it was in my pocket, and I had to open it up and then open up the app and
that's
unmute
okay.
myself.
Tiffany up here, the wise CEO. How's it going with you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing great. We're talking about networking smarter in the Clubhouse. How are you networking in the Clubhouse or in life right now?
Well, I went to Clubhouse Live 2.0. That was fun. I was able to network with a lot of people there. So that was good. Planning on going to the event in New York. And I'm also in October, and also in October, I'm going to the Bigger Pockets conference. So I really like getting together with people. That's been really fun to network. I also hold meetups at my office. And so that's one of the things that I do in order to network is I hold meetups. And I'm going to hold a meetup, and then I'm actually going to hold a meetup in order to raise money for our investment fund that we're going to be doing here
we just finished the fund, and so we're going to be raising money for it here in the next little bit. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And then I got my 10K card, and that's a way of also networking. I'm also doing some YouTube videos. So doing a lot of those things, trying to make things happen. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that's networking. I would say that's like powerhousing. I mean, you have formed a whole system. You've got your meetup. You've got your, you're going to Bigger Pockets, by the way. Love Bigger Pockets. They're the ones that got me addicted to real estate. I love Bigger Pockets. So I'm glad that
They're great. Especially the podcast episode 287. That's my favorite. Just to let you know.
Now I got to go over here on my computer and look at it.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm going to go look up episode 287. I love Bigger Pockets. What is episode 287 on?
Well, it's on creative financing. So it's on the lease option model, creative financing, which is actually something that I did. So it's great. Again, it's a great episode. In my opinion, it's the best. That's just my opinion.
What area are you in?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. What area are you in, Shiloh?
I am in Arizona, and I also have about 200 properties or units, I should say, mostly in Arizona, but I'm also in the Triad area of North Carolina as well.
I knew it.
He's in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. We need to connect a little bit. What? I'm in Rocky Mount, Raleigh area.
North Carolina. Oh, you're in Raleigh? Okay, cool. Yeah, it might get a little bit loud. We're just heading out. We bought a cabin here about a month ago. So now I'm driving out a big Penske truck up in the mountains. It's full of cabin stuff. So we're excited. So we.
Beautiful.
So that's what we're doing. So I may lose you guys as we go through the mountains. I'm going to try my best to listen to what I can.
Oh, no worries. We appreciate you coming in and dropping those gems on us. Oh, thank you. I love it. Oh, I love it. So now, with your experience in lease options, since we have you in the room, what kind of conversations help you when you're speaking with owners about you taking over their property, whether they're residing in it and moving on, or they got renters and they want to stop doing that, or they, just have extra property? What is that?
So that's a really good
the hardest thing.
And the person that would probably be better to ask more than me would be Zachary Beach, and he's on Clubhouse a lot, and he does what's called sandwich lease options, meaning that he will buy a property on a lease option, and then he will sell it on a lease option as well. I haven't done a lot of that. I've done mostly where we can take the property over subject to the existing finance, but a lot of times what we're doing is we're going to buy a property and we're going to burr it and we're going to lease it. So I kind of brought both of those models together, the burr strategy along with these options, and I call it the Burlow model. So that's kind of what I'm doing, is the Burlow model.
Oh, I like that. The Burlow model, yes. So he's wrapping that mortgage. He's basically wrapping stuff in it.
Well, I don't wrap the mortgage. So what I do is I will actually buy the property. So I get a lot of properties under market through wholesalers or through, finding properties on MLS not MLS, but like through Zillow or Realtor, where I can recognize the value is low, and then I'll go in there and I'll buy it cash. Really, I'm buying it with hard money. And then after I buy it with a hard money loan, I'll go ahead and I will get it ready to, and then I'll buy it and I'll fix it up, and then I go ahead and I refinance it. So that's what I'm doing.
Now, do you find there's a limit? Do you have a strong relationship with, I assume you do, with specific banks that are used to investment type holding portfolios?
Yes. So I've developed a relationship with several different banks, probably about 4 or 5 different banks, and sometimes we're friends, sometimes we're enemies. It's kind of how it goes. I try not to burn too many bridges, but sometimes I do burn some bridges because, like, I'll be. It's less about the bank and more about the banker, to be honest with you, because if you develop a really good relationship with a banker, yeah, you need to get the actual money from the bank, but a banker will go and fight for you. But if you just go into a bank not knowing anybody, I have a lot of complicated finances because of the amount of properties that we own, and I have business and things like that. So it takes an underwriter to really go through a big job in being able to qualify me for the loan. And so basically, so I work with a banker who will then go and fight for me and try to get the loan for me. And and then when you have the banker leave, so I had a banker leave recently, and it was just frustrating. And so then all my loans kind of fell apart with them, and I had to go with another bank. That's why I work with 2 or 3 banks always at the same time, is so that if one bank doesn't work, I can pivot over to another bank. A lot of times I'll do loans at more than one bank at the same time, trying to get the same loan, because I know that some aren't going to be able to cross the finish line with me. So that's one thing that I do in working with banks.
Oh, that's a smart strategy. Yes, have both going and see who comes to the table first. I like that.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh, yes. Queen Bridget, you were going to jump in a minute ago. She's in your market too, and well, Florida. You're in Raleigh, I believe you said.
Well, I'm actually I'm actually in a couple markets. I'm actually licensed, obviously in all of North Carolina, but I actually hold an office in Charlotte and in Rocky Mount. So I do everything in between. So yeah. Tri-state
partnership opportunities.
Yeah, triangle areas. If you're looking for anything, let me know what you guys are looking for. If you have anything you're looking to get rid of, let me know.
We like to buy in the Triad area, so Winston-Salem and Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're looking for properties, and we do the lease option out there as well. We have about 8 properties right now, and it's been great.
Well, yeah, you got so many of the schools over there, so that's a great area. Some of our HBCUs out there, some of our actually first HBCUs are out that way. So,
I didn't know that.
What's an HBCU?
Historically Black College or University. They're like our version of Ivy, basically.
Okay. Well, wait, what did you call them again?
HBCU, Historically Black Colleges and Universities, like Howard University.
North Carolina A&T, you have A&T, you have Winston-Salem over there, you have,
I've heard of it. Right, just didn't hear the acronym, so thank you. So it's HBCU? Is that what it is?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, you caught me with a mouthful of snacks.
Yeah.
Oh, so wonderful. Go ahead.
So do you guys normally look for?
Dairy Queen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you guys normally look for? Because I actually had an investor over there that had. I'm not sure if they still have them, but they had some multi units actually that they were doing for student housing. That was up. I have to check in to see if they actually sold them, but they had some properties over there. And do you guys normally look for single family or anything?
Since we're doing the lease option, we do look a lot more just for single family right now, because it makes management very, very low, and we don't have a big team out in North Carolina. So that's why we are just looking for single family right now in North Carolina. We also own about 6 small mobile home parks, and so I expect that we're going to expand that. My buddy and I are working with so we're experiencing growing pains right now, and so we considered bringing on another partner. There's a guy that he's lent to us several times, and he's just a brilliant guy. He's a young guy too, and he used to work for GoDaddy and training a bunch of people, and then he stopped and he just starts doing land. So he starts flipping land basically, and he does great with it. He took his family to Japan for a month for the virus, I think, and just travels the world with his little family, young family, and the guy's just brilliant. So we reached out to him and asked him if he'd like to consider working with us, and he said yeah. So we're looking to have him be our operations manager, somebody that's going to come in and take a look at all of our systems and fix our systems and help us grow. So we're excited about that. I think that's going to help us go to the next level.
Awesome. I'm going to check out your 10K card, and I'm sure you have probably a link over there that we can connect, and I would love to connect with you on that.
Absolutely, we can connect there. And then also, I have a lot of videos on YouTube on lease options and some other stuff that we're doing. I talked about the Clubhouse live event that went to. I created a video on that. So you can take a look at any of those videos if you want. Subscribe if you want. That's what I'm going to bet with my buddy. The first one to 1,000 subscribers wins. So we're trying to beat him. So if anybody wants to go and get some great content and subscribe, that helps me out.
I just subscribed to Improved Channel on Real Estate Investing.
That's my channel. Thank you so much.
Hey, also, I get a lot of leads on for rent. Because I do a lot for rent to own. So hey, if you guys are looking for some people to get into those spots over there, I can send you a ton of folks. I don't know what to do with a lot of these people.
Well, do you have properties out there in North Carolina? Single family homes?
As far as no, I don't. I have a lot of. I've been in real estate for 22 years, so most of the properties and stuff that I've done has been from the real estate side as the realtor. But I've just switched over to the investor. But a lot of the leads that I get, because of the advertising that I do and because of the developments that we've been looking into, are a lot of rent to own. They're all looking rent to own. So a lot in that area too.
Yeah. It's a great model. Great model if you do it right. You do it right.
Oh, yes. Yes. It's a very lucrative one.
It is. In a lot of different ways. It's lucrative, but you're also helping people be able to get into a home. And so I really like it. It's been great for us. It really has. Can you still hear me, or am I breaking up?
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay, I think I'm just breaking up.
I couldn't get to my microphone, and I was going to say it is a tremendous a model, like you said, especially like I said from the realtor side. I've focused a lot on the rent to own, especially in that Charlotte market and stuff. A lot of times, affordable housing that is not easy to come by. So a lot of times it's easier for them to be able to get in on a, like you said, whether you call it a lease option or a rent to own, in on that type of a property. And they could, a lot of times too, if it's done right, like you said, they can even finance into it, 1, 2, 3. I think a lot of times we do up to 5 years on a lease when we do them that way.
Yeah, we started out doing the 5-year lease options. Then we switched over to do 4-year and then 3-year. We stuck with the 3-year. Like when we were first starting, we did the 5-year, and it was great. It was, but I mean, when we started doing it, we would lock in that option price. And which, nobody knew that the market was going to appreciate so much so quickly. So a lot of the people are able to buy our properties for like tens of thousands, some even hundreds of thousands below market value right now. So we've changed the way that we do it a little bit to where we don't miss out on so much appreciation, where we've switched it to what's called a floating lease option, which means that the option price isn't set. It actually goes up with the market. And so that way we don't lose out on so much appreciation, but people are still able to get into these properties and still work towards home ownership. So that's what we're doing now.
Well, that's really good.
Wow.
Do you, I'm definitely, like I said, I'm going to send you this because I have some people right now. I don't know if you have any available spots or anything like that, but I have some people right now I can put into some.
We have one that we just are finishing up in Reedsville. This is our only one that we have in Reedsville. And there's very few rentals in Reedsville, by the way. Do you guys know where that is? Reedsville, North Carolina.
Did you say Greensville or?
No, Reedsville. R-E-I.
Oh, yeah. I know where Reedsville is. Yeah.
So it's just a smaller city just above Greensboro, I believe. And
yeah. I was about to say Greensville. That's on the other side.
No, Reedsville. There's so many cities that sound very similar in North Carolina. There's borough this and borough that. Just build this and build that. So it's interesting. So yeah, there's like very few rentals. So we have a 3-1, I believe, and we're just going to be putting it on the market here pretty soon. For I think 105 is going to be the option. Strike price is 105. That's worth about 95 right now. Yeah. So it's a cute place. It's on a big plot of land, and so yeah, I think it'll work out really well.
Oh, great! I'm gonna have to check in. Yeah, but Reedsville. I know where Reedsville is. I know where that is because I see it. I can see it. I can see the sign.
Wow, look at this. This is amazing. Oh, Queen Bridget, you just walked away from one deal and God has opened up the door for another deal, all in the same Clubhouse room. I love it.
Absolutely.
So we never know what's in this room. Yes, Mr. Shiloh, you are dropping some diamonds. You continue to flow as you see fit. The floor is yours.
Oh, I don't know if I have anything brilliant to say. I just wanted to jump in a room, and I hope to not sound apathetic, but I don't know about everything that's going on in Afghanistan right now, and so I don't feel like I have anything really to contribute to that room, and I don't want to listen to people that may also be half informed, kind of giving opinions and things like that. So I just wanted to get into a room that I could just, listen to people talk about things that I'm interested and familiar with and stuff like that. So again, I don't mean to sound callous or anything.
No, I like that feedback. That really helps us because it's Friday. And we're like, do people really want to talk about this on Friday? Well, let's go see. Because like minds will be attracted to you.
Yeah. So what are some things that you guys are doing to network?
Well, we've been talking about how opportunity has been really late before us. We were talking about the new payment system. I don't know if you've heard about it, but you probably have 50 at your 10K card. But payments is a new alternative to PayPal. So Bridget was actually sharing how she's leveraging the system because she's gone all the way in and moved a lot of her products onto the platform already, which is pretty outstanding. Bridget, do you want to highlight your experience with payments? You don't have to go deep like you did. I know you probably have.
Oh, not at all. I'm over here trying to. I was all on Shiloh's 10K card, trying to figure out. I'll shoot him a text a little bit later. But no, I was just sharing that, as for me, switching over to payment was kind of simple because when I do high ticket items, a lot of times it's difficult to get my payment, within a couple days because they like to hold it. So, but anyway, it is a great platform, and I'm sure with you being on the 10K card, you're going to see some new things because they're combining it and adding some additional.
So just adds the payment card.
Yes. Yeah. I think they're going to be adding that with the button, so that you can be able to get paid, through various, whether it's, Venmo, Cash App, or payment. So I thought it was really neat. I love the product. I love the platform. I was telling them about my invoicing and different things like that. So, so it's I'll do blah blah blah. My voice is getting late.
Oh, you are in North Carolina.
Oh yeah, I'm in North Carolina. So yeah, it's getting late here. As far as you had said, as far as what do we do for different networking, as far as what we're doing, for me, I'm new to Clubhouse. This is, I guess I'm going to say my second or third week here. I haven't really gotten out of my house. I'm still networking online. I haven't networked in person, mostly because of COVID stuff. I am being, as safe as I can. But I do a lot of online, like marketplace, or depending on what I find other businesses where they are, and then I try to see what they might need and help them with what they, I let them know what I'm an expert in. I also do some mindset coaching. I do financial literacy, and I do real estate. So I let them know what I'm an expert in, and I see where I can help them at. So, and that's and the biggest thing about my 10K card is I love that because it's helping me. He's gone.
I was about to come off. He's going through the mountains. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pop back in. It'll just put it back in his spot in a minute.
Yeah.
But that's powerful. I love how you're using it. Mm.
But you know what? I'm thankful I really am thankful for the 10K card because I am all over the place. You can see
like
when it comes to my business, and I love it because it makes me look more organized. It makes me look like everything is kind of flowing because I have my real estate business. I do have my coaching business, which is more, on the, like you, on the spiritual side, so, I love it. I love that I can be all of those things and bring them together in one place. And where depending on where I am, I can share the card and point them to where they need to go. So I'm excited about, being able to really tap into it. This is my first week really being back to work, guys. I have not done anything for the last 4 or 5 months. I think I told you guys already, my husband just passed. So, I have been.
Oh, wait a minute. Back up. No, ma'am. What did you say? Your husband just passed?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I mentioned that to you guys. Yeah, my husband passed. A husband of 21 years. But Bridget, I am so sorry to hear that. So sorry. Thank you, guys. It was tough to get into a mental space, and I'm still working on it. I have my ups, I have my downs, as far as getting back to work. So I am just now getting back to work. I didn't want to get online. I didn't want to do anything. So the last few weeks, Clubhouse has been amazing. the rooms and stuff that I've been able to go in. I think the very first week I was here, I was able to get exactly what I needed. I actually am in this group. It's called Global Women, and you guys may be familiar with Morella. It's Morella's name. I can't remember her name. But we were already connected outside of this platform. So, and one of the things that she always pushes is, you know, give a woman a mic and let her tell her story, you know, basically. And so it was actually healing for me to come and share or start to talk, I guess you can say, about, you know, losing my husband, because I hadn't been able to talk about it or, you know, or really deal with it, because it was unexpected. Even though my husband had been sick for some time, he was in great health. He was going, you know, on an upward trajectory, and we, you know, it kind of hit me. So, but it was great to be able to come to this platform, and I was able to find a room that I needed to get me out of my slump, because literally, I wasn't able to do anything for 4 or 5 months. I've just, you know, I've been wanting to get back to work, and it's just been so much inspiration on this app that I'm like, okay, now I got to catch up.
Oh, we understand. Yes, ma'am. We do understand that you are in process.
And it is. It's a process.
You're going to be in my prayers. And you know what? Take it one day at a time. You just take it. Whatever you feel you need to do at that moment, then you be in that moment. And if you need to ping us and mess up, y'all better pray for me right now. Then that's what we're going to do.
Thank you, ladies. I mean, the first week, I think I was on, every time I talked, I cried. so I'm like, okay, I'm getting my emotions back under, so that every time I talk, I don't cry now, at least. So, but it has been. I have met some amazing. I'm talking about amazing people from all walks of life. Even I tell you, I still love to go to the viral train room. I just love the energy in it. I love their energy. I just love that community. I just love to see them giving love. I love that. I love to see when people support people. I just love to see it, and that's why when you were saying earlier about some of these rooms that you just have to exit, I can't go into those rooms. I can't be in there and allow that in my headspace for a while. I mean, I can be in there for a little bit, and I understand, because sometimes we do have to talk through some stuff. But for me, I can't be in some of those spaces for too long, because it's just, you know, gets me to a place.
You're in a delicate place right now. You're walking through your process, because no one can really qualify it or define it but you. But you're walking through your process right now.
Absolutely.
Unless someone is your age, as young as you are, has lost their husband at that age, they could never understand. And was married to him for over 2 decades, they couldn't understand. So what I'm gonna say is, I'm praying for you, my sister, for God to cover you with His anointing and His protective angels, and that in the night when you feel like you feel in a certain type of way, that He would just wrap you in His arms like you are right there with Him, and He's holding you. I can see Him just holding on to you so tight, even through your tears and your pain, even through your grief and your sorrow. I know that Jesus is looking at you. He will stop the earth if He has to, stop time if He has to love on you, because that's how much I know He loves us. I know He's got us. I know He's got you, my sister. So don't you be afraid, and don't you be weary, because He's got so much more for you. And my sister, joy comes in the morning. I know weeping may be, it seems like it's lasting forever, but joy is going to be there. And I'm going to declare it, and I'm going to decree it, that one day you will wake up and it's like it's a brand new you. It's a brand new day. And yes, Your beloved is there with you in spirit and in your heart. But one day it won't hurt as much as the previous. And we're going to keep praying you through the process. And only you can determine when you have arrived at where you feel that the Father wants you to be. And can't nobody judge that. They're going to have to let you go through your process. Unless they willing to trade places, and I guarantee you they won't buy that ticket. But they better pray.
Thank you so much. I mean, that does. I mean, whew, it's been good though. I am so thankful again, like I said, for this environment. I love what's happening on Clubhouse. And I hate that I'm only new to this thing for a few weeks. I didn't have an iPhone, so I couldn't get out of it.
Right. That's what hindered a lot of people. I'm like, oh, Jesus, why did they do this? But it's all good. I have an iPhone, but I had no excuse. I just didn't want to learn yet another app. And I said, but you know what?
I actually purchased the iPhone just to get on Clubhouse. Truth. That is so true. I did.
You know, this is the best thing that has happened to, I believe, our global society since the advent of, I would say, Facebook rooms and, you know, those rooms where we could talk to each other and communicate. I liken it unto Zoom, but with a layer of protection. Because I always wonder, are they looking at me? I know I can see my picture, but can they really look at me? Oh, but if they were in Clubhouse, I know they can see my emoji. But I really like it. And you know what? I've, like you, my sister, my queen, I've met some powerhouses up in this Clubhouse. And I've been like you, I've only been here full time 3 weeks. But I tell you, I love it. And God has helped move me. And those of us who are meant to migrate together, don't you find that you just look around, you're like, oh, there they are. There's my tribe. And we all just kind of migrate together. It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been I was you were saying as far as being and just migrating with certain people. Again, I keep stumbling over my words. One, I'm tired, and two, but no, just really some folks that I guess that's why I get pinged into rooms. All of a sudden, like, oh shoot, I'm getting whisked away. But I absolutely love it, so that you can find exactly what you need, whatever you need, whether it's for real estate. And I'm thankful to be able to go into those rooms, but it's been also just the camaraderie with different business owners, different women. It doesn't matter really what kind of back I have. I think there was one, and there's this one woman I need to connect with. I can't remember her name, but it was in another room, and I absolutely loved the way she was just talking about reaching out to marginalized communities as far as the training and different things. I really want to connect with her. I think her name was Anna or Ann. I gotta find her. But
was she from another country?
Yes.
And she was an orphan. Everybody knows Anna. Everybody knows her.
Is it Anna? Oh my gosh, I have got to find her. She was. I just loved her heart. I mean, when you had talked about this added level of protection, I guess, on this phone, you know, in this Clubhouse, because you know some people don't want, like you said, don't want to be seen, and it's tough for them to talk in public, you know, but you're on the phone. So it's easier to talk when you're on the phone. But her heart for people just came through when I heard her talking. I just absolutely loved that.
If you look in the, if you search, when you type in the name Anna, her last name is spelled like the word hour, O-U-R. I guarantee you to pop her name because I can't even say her last name. But Anna Hour, etc. And you'll find her. Yeah, she impacted me, and she's been in a couple of rooms where she shared her story. from I would say from death's door all the way to over here. But her determination, oh, I love it. She's powerful. Her testimony is powerful, heartbreaking and powerful. I was almost in a fetal position listening to her because I felt like I was getting set free from some things I hadn't even addressed from my childhood. That sense of abandonment. Because my mother would literally leave me anywhere. I don't know what was wrong with her. I have to just say, Mom, what was wrong with you? She don't really know. I think it was just being young. But she would leave me with strangers. And I wake up and I'm like, where am I?
Oh my!
And she be gone for real, like gone for like years. And I'm like, okay, but the hand of God was on me, and that's why I think, that's why I know I'm so close to my Father in heaven, because I didn't really have parents. I had a happy childhood when I was with my relatives, my aunt. But when I finally had an opportunity, to be with my parents, it's like I just was just dropped, just abandoned. I don't know. But what I can tell you is I thought I had dealt with that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But when she started sharing her story and going into detail, it brought back a whole lot of memories that I thought I had hidden and locked away in that little Tiffany box in the back of my heart. And the Lord spoke to me. He said, now bring it out. Because I'm going to heal every nook and cranny through her testimony, because you cannot go out there and help people in this area that you still protecting. So let it go. Bring it out. Let me heal it. Let's deal with it. I'm like, oh, come on. I'm a grown woman, really? But that's how God works in our lives. I tell people, you think you got to level 10, you're like, okay, I've arrived, I'm on level 10. But yeah, you were on sub-level 3. Now you're going up the elevator to level 4. You got to start back over all over again. Level 1. Welcome to level 1. I was teaching that in a women's class at church. It was about 50 deep. I could feel it in my soul when I said that. They all was like, well, she just laid it out there. Well, this is just not. So basically, you're saying it's a never-ending escalator. Yeah, pretty much.
Say it's levels to this. It's levels.
Because Sean Pinkett came. He came in hot. He always coming in hot. But it's always got a good message. It ain't hot to hurt you. It's hot to help you. So he was laying some things out. I could feel the quivering in the voice of the person he was talking to. I was like, oh, man, they little feelings. Oh, they done got deflated. And, he's being the daddy. He's like, now, look. Then I swooped in. I said, hey, baby. Guess what? It's going to be all right, because guess what? I had to deal with that the other day because God needed to address and straighten some things out in me. But the best thing you can do is receive it and grow from it and know that it is for your good. It is not there to hurt you. It's for your good. Because if he didn't care about you, he wouldn't have said nothing. He would have said, I ain't going to pay not one red cent, like you told the other person, not one dime. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall. How much you offered? Is $500,000 good with you? Not one red cent. Well, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, that you're the Savior. The only thing I would have said, they look at me, Jesus wept. He did. He wept. Oh, let the church say amen. But I tell you, yes, my sister, thank you for sharing, and thank you for laying it out, because we've all had to bare our soul, because it's a cleansing environment up in the 10K card house as well as growing up. And
I am going to have to leave you, and I hate that, but I have got to get some sleep. I have not been to sleep in the last couple nights, but I have enjoyed you.
Go to bed.
Thank you guys so much for everything.
We love you, my sister, and you come in anytime. We're right here. Even Kimberly, who cannot speak right now.
Kimberly, I looked at your card too, and she's also in real estate too. She can't talk right now, but I need to connect with her too.
You
I hit you up on
in love.
Yes, I hit her up on Instagram, so hopefully we'll connect another time. I'm loving it, guys. You guys are amazing. Yeah, have a great night.
Good night, Queen. Oh, you all are in the 10K Cards House of Love and Growth and Networking. And I tell you, it is that hour. I have to actually speak in the morning at 10 o'clock, from 10 to 2. I won't be talking that long, though, but it's an event that's going to last from 10 to 2. So I don't want to show up on camera with bags under my eyes because they will be recording it. Oh, and I was told to record it, too, so we'll see how that works out. But I'm going to bid you all adieu. I know it's going to set the room down, but does anyone have anything else to share? Because I never want to leave anybody just feeling like they didn't get a chance. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute and give y'all a chance to share if you would like to. And yes, we already know that Queen Melissa is asleep. I can tell y'all her bedtime is usually around 12, so I'm pretty sure she's done. Okay. Going once. Okay, we are closing down the room. I love you guys. I will see you all next time. Not in the morning. Probably tomorrow night. I'll be back. Oh, Queen Melissa is awake. Wait just a minute.
I've been listening. I just was at work.
Oh, I didn't know you at work, Queen.
Yes, I work second and third shifts.
Oh, well, the Lord is going to deliver you from that one day.
Yes, He is. My goal is next year.
Amen. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Oh, I'm so excited now. Now, tell me about that emoji that I see people.
The emoji?
The emblem inside of your ring, your circle, your clubhouse.
Oh, my pick. Oh, yes. That is the room that I will be hosting on this room, 10K, 10 a.m. on Wednesday. It is the competition. Pitch your best elevator pitch. And we have Mr. Stan and, of course, Sean Lashley. I would be partnering with them, and they were sponsoring the room. And you can come in and pitch your best pitch and be a contestant. I'll be running the room every day. Every day you can come in and pitch your pitch, but on Wednesdays is the competition where you can come in and win a free membership with MBN with Mr. Stan and his network, Phenomenal Foundation. I just became a member, and I'm now part of. Yeah, I am now part of a 1900 plus and growing network where we all come together, collaborate, and work with each other. If I need anything, I got a network to go to. I can reach out to the network. And then you're able to win a free 10K card. And then if you already are a member of MBN, you'll get $100 if you won. And if you already have a 10K card and you become the winner, you'll receive $100 as well. So it's the cash prize, or you're able to get a 10K card and a free membership with the MBM. And this is going to be hosted every Wednesday at 10 a.m. in this room with me, Sean, and Mr. Stan. I'm super excited. So come on out and pitch your best pitch and see if your pitch is the winner. Because at the end of the day, once you pitch, you're now marketing yourself to other potential clients, potential customers that you will need, because you never know who needs your services until you pitch your pitch. So come and join us every Wednesday. And then my room after next Wednesday is going to be the first day. After that, I'll be doing it every day, but there won't be no competition until Wednesday. So I'm super excited about that.
Oh, congratulations, Queen. Now, I'm about leveraging. You know, I'll bleed a turn up now. I'm about leveraging. If I win, I'm gonna tell you something now. I don't want your $100. I don't want your $200. I want the memberships. Okay, I want the memberships, and I'm gonna pass those memberships on. Okay, because they got value. Oh, ain't about that hard money, that front pocket money, that change money. I want the value. No.
I know that's right, Queen. Well, come on and pitch your pitch.
Shoot my shot.
Shoot your shot.
I'm still traumatized by that room.
Woo, that room was going down.
I was in my eyes. I'm like, Jesus, where's the oil? I don't even know. I just hadn't used the anointing oil in so long. I'm like, where is it?
Yes. Hey, Queen Kimberly.
Hey, she can't talk.
Oh, she can't talk.
Hi, Melissa. It's Kimberly.
Hi, beautiful. So good to hear your voice.
It's a little bit raspy at this point, but it's getting better.
Hot tea and lemon.
Yes, ma'am, I know. And keep my mouth shut.
So I'm not going to say nothing to you no more then.
And keep cough drops or something in there to keep it all moisturized. Because I love echinacea drops, the ones that taste like with honey and lemon. I usually do that in the summertime. Oh, but yes, I thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. And how are you advertising your the event? Are you just going into rooms and announcing?
Just
post it on your bio, I'm sure.
It'll be I do pop it in the rooms, different rooms. My goal is to touch 10 rooms a day. The 10K, 10 is the magic number. So my goal is to pop into 10 rooms a day, every single day until whenever we decide to stop running the competition.
Okay.
Yeah. And then another sponsor joined today, Mr. Don Daniels.
Yes, he's fabulous.
The Pill Man. So he's another sponsor now, and he will be offering some services as well. So I'm super excited about that. He came on board today.
Melissa, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Have you thought about putting together a marketing sheet so we can all pass it around Instagram?
I never heard of that. Let's collaborate and make one happen. I never heard of a marketing sheet. What is it?
It's basically like a flyer. We call it a marketing sheet. I've been doing them for other people this week, teaching them how to do them since I'm not supposed to be talking. So how about if we, you said you sent me a DM, right?
Yeah, a while back. I can send you one right now in your back channel.
Or you can look at my 10K card and just text me, because I've been texting like crazy this week.
Okay.
So, okay. And I'll help you with that.
Oh, awesome. So I'll give you a text sometime tomorrow after 10 a.m.
And put it in your story on your Instagram. Put it in your story too. That when she gives you the sheet or flyer, make sure you put it in your story and kind of keep it running on your story.
Yeah.
So when people click your bio.
Yeah.
Nice. Because as soon as they go, it'll pop up and they won't have to go look. Because, that's what the virus train does. They're like, go to the story. So we've been trained.
I know that's right.
And if you put it in your stories, we can all share it not only to our Insta story, but also our Facebook and our Snapchat and TikTok.
Awesome. Yes, I'm super excited to speak with you, Kimberly. Well, text you.
Bless her heart. Yeah,
and
make sure you spell out the value.
I definitely will be reaching out to you tomorrow, Kimberly, and learning more about the marketing sheet. What was you saying, Queen?
Oh, I was just making sure, how they do the promotions. Make sure you say the total value of all the prizes, $1 million. No, just kidding. But you just tell them the total value of all the prizes so far is this, but we're still getting prizes in, so it could go up.
Well, yeah, because the membership for MBN is $4.99.
No, honey, that's $500. They ain't going in $500.
It's $500. And that the 10K card is
according to the millennials, it's half a thousand.
$500.
It's 0.5 thousand. I was like, what are y'all talking about? I said, you mean $500? That's not how we say it. Oh, my bad.
Man, listen, I work in a juvenile group home for boys, and the lingo they be using, I have to ask for translation. What does that mean? Can you break that down to me like I'm a 5-year-old, please? I don't understand your language.
And I'm talking to my own child, and he's saying these things. I said, "What is a $0.5 thousand? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, what you talking about, Willis?
He said $500. I said, "But just say that."
Just say like the abbreviation. When my kids send me texts and all abbreviation, I'm like, what happened to verb, adverb, adjective, pronoun? A sentence. Whatever happened to sentences? I don't know what happened.
I asked the guy one time, "What did you call me?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You texted me WYD." I said, what? He said, "That means what you doing." I said, "Well, how am I supposed to know?"
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't think any emoji or abbreviation.
What are you doing? What's so hard about writing that?
I said, "What you call me?"
Like this. Look, I have to always ask them, what does this mean?
I'm tired. I'm like, you know what? I cannot communicate with that group because it confuses me. So now I just tell my son, "Do you have a moment to speak?"
Yeah, just talk to me.
He'll text me back, "I do now." Then I stop what I'm doing, like Patrice says she does with us. I stop what I'm doing, get on the phone with him, because don't start texting me in abbreviations and codes.
I was in a room, was it last week? And they was giving out all the abbreviations in business, finance. Now, those are the abbreviations I need to learn. About business, about finances, and all these, and business-oriented abbreviations. I don't want to know WYD and GGT. It's too much.
It's just too much. It makes my head hurt.
Like, just talk to me in a sentence, please. I can comprehend that better than abbreviations.
Exactly. So I know that there's also another tool. When I find it, I'll send it to you. There is a back channel tool that they're using to communicate with subscribers to rooms. It's fairly new.
Okay.
And they can communicate with where everybody can see their messages. I thought they were talking about the back channel on here, but it's something totally different. So I just found out about it. So I'm going to be researching it after the event tomorrow, because I want to make sure I'm leveraging everything, and I'll share that with you. Any tool I find to help you, I'll drop it in.
Awesome. Thank you, Queen. And I'm wishing you much success on your event tomorrow. I know you're going to kill it and bring the noise and bring that knowledge and drop that gem. Yes.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I'm excited. I really am. And I just am believing God that, whoever is in the room that may be depressed or have a need, or, like we are in this room, I hope they feel comfortable enough to DM us, let us know that they have a need so that we can reach out.
Definitely. Now, is your event on Clubhouse, or is it Zoom or something?
No, it's a private event.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be on Zoom. So once I see how it's all laid out and how they're going to do it tomorrow, then I can see, because I'm looking at ways to leverage that to bring it onto Clubhouse. And I really want to specifically focus on women who are in our category, who are giving. I really want to have a special event, kind of like Oprah did when she had her luncheon that she was doing, and she started with those who were serving and then trickle down. That's kind of what I want to do, because I really think women who are in need of that, who might still be like us, because we're still kind of locked in. For the most part, and when I thought I was free, then you captured me and put the shackles back on me and said, "No, you ain't free. There's another barrier. Get back in the house." So we ain't free yet? Okay, fine.
No, not yet.
Yeah. Even though I do risk my life to go get my nails done, my nail technician said, "You have never taken your mask off. You must be the smartest woman in this room." Because he used to say, "Why don't you take your mask off?" I said, He's like, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm sure it's not done yet."
It's sure enough not.
I needed to wait. I said, my spirit says keep it on, so I'm going to keep it on. But, I just feel like there's a need mainly for us to connect also on a personal level, to see each other, and to really minister to one another, like face to face. Because when I go to church, when I went to church that one time, it scared the mess out of me.
Just that one time?
Because wasn't nobody wearing a mask. They wasn't wearing a mask, and I'm like, and they're looking at me like, okay, all he needs to say is come together in a circle and pray, and it's our chance to grab you. And my thought is always, I'm finna run faster than you, and I'm gonna get out of here. Because I already had a problem with people putting hands on me before the thing happened, before we got locked in. I didn't like to be touched just by anybody. And, you know, because it was just like a protective method. It wasn't that I was, you know, trying to be a certain way. I was just really not wanting to deal with the transfer of whatever they were dealing with on a spiritual level. And so it's like, no, I think I'm going to just go on. You know, so I would always leave. But now people are reaching out because, you know, they've been isolated so long, and I cannot blame them, but I'm just not that one. If I don't know you and I don't know your spirit, you can't touch me. No.
I know that's right. My mother tell me spirits jump on people, honey.
Well, yeah, I know and I'm protected from that, but if you got something that you're dealing with, it's going to repulse me and I'm going to feel ill, like ew. So, you know, I know me. I do. But one of the things I want to say is, because you are the host of that room, I'm looking at it. Yes, I know Stan is right there at the front and your sponsor. I want to make sure I'm seeing you. Don't leave your face off that picture. You're the one that's leading this, and you're the one that's going to stay here. When they're done on Wednesday, you are the leader. And I understand that, you know, we're always taught to respect leadership, and yes, we want to do that. But don't neglect to put your face there, too. So if you need some help with Photoshop, I'm a Photoshop ninja. I can put you in just about anything. So reach out to me if you need my help with anything. But I want to make sure that you are.
I definitely will reach out to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know, Sean challenged me to start a room, so.
And you're doing the daggone thing.
Like, Sean's bringing me out of my comfort zone, because I've been on Clubhouse since June, and I never spoke until one day when he started his room. He said, Queen Melissa, I need you to take over for real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, no, he didn't just drop the mic in your lap.
And, like, just like that, and been moderating his rooms ever since. And I thank him for giving me that opportunity, because it's allowed me to speak better, articulate my words a lot better, and being able to present my business a lot better without having to think about what I'm going to say, because I've already thought about what I'm going to say before I say it now.
I actually write notes. I have a scratch pad. A friend of mine was is a newscaster, an anchor, and I had the good pleasure of serving under her when she was president of the organization I now am in charge of. And I watched her. I'm a really good study. And I said, I've been watching you, and I noticed that when you're standing there and people are responding to you, you're always writing. And I said, what are you writing? Your thoughts are there. She said, that's why I like you. You actually pay attention. I said, well, what you doing? She said, well, I'm writing not only what I'm going to say, I'm writing the points down so I don't forget all of what was said. She said, and I always do that when I'm in a meeting, or even when I'm talking on stage. Before I go on stage, I already know what I'm going to say. So nothing's going to catch me off guard. And I learned that from her, and I was like, that's strategic. That's why reporters always seem like they have it together. It's really organization. And they don't know everything about everything, but they would have researched it before. So when we were talking about payments and PayPal, I wanted to make sure I got it right, because I don't want to say anything that's not fact. I'm one of those. It has to be fact. And I wanted to guess the Mason. I said, I remember when I did this, but let me make sure that I'm not speaking hearsay. I want to make sure I'm speaking truth, because I know from experience I'm speaking truth, but let's make sure I can validate that. You know what I mean? So I'm doing that as well.
Exactly. You know, who was it? A couple years ago, you know, one of my mentors was telling me, when you go into meetings or you go into, you know, an event where there's speakers, you always take a pen and pad. Write what they're saying down. Write their notes. Write their steps they're saying to take. And then at the end, you put your understanding of what you just learned. at the bottom of all your notes. So that way, when you go back, you know what that particular topic was about and what you gleaned from it, what you got from it, what you learned from it. And then you're able to apply it. You know, like information doesn't do any good to nobody if it's just sitting in you. But once you deposit that information into somebody's life, it has the capabilities to change your life if you apply it. You know, people say knowledge is power, but knowledge isn't the power. Applied knowledge is the power, because you have to apply that knowledge to make it work and to make it work for you and benefit for you. If you never apply it, what's the sense of having all that information and not doing anything with it? So you don't, that's not power. Power comes when you apply the knowledge, apply the information, apply what you learned. You have to apply it. It's my little
Only
tip for
1
today.
to, you know why there's a 1 to 2% ROI on most marketing reach campaigns? Because no one wants to take action. And it's true to life. It's sad. Because I tell people all the time, give your knowledge away. You can take a master class and give it away for free. Guess what? Only 1 to 2% are actually going to take action. And that's a proven fact. So when you sell your program, yes, it has a non-refundable policy up to, and you know what? They keep increasing the days. I think they're up to 100 days now. 100 days, you can be carrying it, no place to that. You know what? They're not even going to look at it within that. Most people are not going to look at it within that 100-day time period. I've been guilty of that, where I bought material and not looked at it. So I know it's true, and for me, sometimes because I don't have the time, or because it's not relevant for whatever I'm doing with my contract. But I've been guilty of that. And I'm like, man, I paid $1,500 for 2 books and I ain't picked them up yet. And yes, I'm mad about it, but there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, it's proof. 1 to 2% are going to take action on it.
Wow. I did not know that statistics. I did not know that number. And that's so low. Super low. Only 1 to 2% take action after hearing the information. Wow.
Yes,
I've been guilty of that. I've been guilty of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all of us have, you know, all of us as entrepreneurs, not even just entrepreneurs, even if you're a W-2 person, you know, how many times you've heard something that if you do this, you know, take action now, you can do this and this will give you the results or the glean what you want, and then you never take action. How many notebooks do you have full of notes and that you've never looked back at those notes except for the day you wrote the notes?
Exactly.
You know,
now me, what I do now is I've become a ninja when it comes to taking notes, and I've combined my note taking with my devotional study. I've actually incorporated my notes into my life, because I realized what was happening before is I was treating it like it was like, I don't know, just something to refer back to, not something that I'm living. So now when I take notes, I put it in a specific notebook, and I use Task Planner products because I can take the paper out and move it around. And then I go back and I look at it, because something's going to trigger. I'm like, I already took notes on that. Let me go find that. Because I know if you write it and you hear it and you speak it, it's in you. But sometimes not exactly the way that you want to remember it. So you go back and you look like, okay, this is how it was stated. That's what I was looking for. But I'm a studier now, and I meditate on it. And when I hear someone say something, if I feel, no matter how good it is, that I'm not going to take action, I don't do it. I don't take that leap. I don't invest that. And that's why I was talking to Mr. Dan Matthews about in the end, and I said, the first thing I need to know is how can I leverage this for me, for my situation? Because if it's not going to fit, then, you know, I don't think you're going anywhere. I can just circle back later. But I want to know how I can use it today. Not tomorrow, today. And that's what he sent me.
Yep, today.
And so, yeah.
Take
what
action
you're doing
today.
is you're hosting a room today. Because if I can't leverage it today, what's the whole point? I've been a part of useless memberships before. I'm not doing that anymore, because I have to give it an account to a higher calling. And that's why I tell people, make sure when you make an offer, I know exactly what I'm going to get and how I can leverage it. And you can share any information with me, because if I think it's valuable, I'm going to buy it, for the simple fact that I don't have to reorganize it and go find the information myself. Because that's time, and time is money. So, I think John mentioned this, the closed hand cannot be fed. You got to open the hand and release something. So we need to approach life from that perspective.
Definitely.
Because we have to be releasers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Hey, welcome to the stage, K2. How are you? Please introduce yourself and let us know how you can add value to today's topic, network smarter in Clubhouse and real life. And if you don't have add value, if you have a question, let us know.
You might be on.
K2, are you there? You might want to hit the microphone. Okay.
I think he's having a conversation. I could hear him a little bit.
Okay, so for one, I'm a female.
Oh,
don't get your wig split.
Excuse me, honey, don't get your wig split.
Right. Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I think that, we have to make sure that we're focused on the mission. And I know what Sean was saying is so true. I like that he hops into different spaces, but his question is, what is your why? So what is the why, And so I'm very strategic when I move, because, and I move in different spaces, not just Clubhouse, I mean, even in real life and real world, because what he has done also in challenging that in me has caused me to challenge myself. How do these different things that I'm doing out here fit me? And is it worth it? Am I getting an advantage from it? So I intentionally went through my profile with one organization. We're online too. And we're able to check mark which committees and things we want to do. And if I saw something that did not align with where I'm going, I took the box out, even if I've been a loyal, faithful member since I got there of that committee. I'm like, it doesn't fit me, because the vibe doesn't fit me, because it's changed, because I've changed. I've evolved. So let me make sure I take myself out of anything that is not going to sharpen what's been planted. Feel me?
I feel you, Queen. Our chaperones are. You gotta stay around people that can make you better. And being around Sean and you and a host of people in the 10K room, it just makes me sharper, makes me better, and I appreciate it. And I do. I've been asking God to send me people that's going to have my best interest and where I can glean from and I can grow from. And He's putting piece by piece people in my life that I can connect with, that I can, tap into and gain information that'll help me take me further. And then vice versa. I may not have all the answers, but I have some answers for some people.
That's true. None of us have all the answers. None of us do. So, and that's one reason I like being out here in Clubhouse, because it allows me to see things from a different perspective. And there was one woman that said something. It was so critical and powerful. You might have been in the room, but we were going around talking about what we've learned. And I mean, it was really, really simple what she said, but still impactful. And it rings in my ear. She said, I realized that I needed to learn something, a skill that I didn't have. And so I'm thinking all these things, what would she didn't have? She's going into all the details of how it just caused her not to be successful in some areas, and how she wished she could go back, but now she knows better. And she said, I just really needed to learn how to listen. It was that simple. But
wow.
Yes, that is the hardest thing for people to do.
Listen, like, well, I had to learn that, especially with my children. I had to learn that. Just listen, Mom. Listen. Then dissect. Then respond accordingly, instead of reacting instantly. You just gotta listen.
Because we want to protect them. They're so close to us. I'm like, you're part of us. That's why we do that. But I had to learn to listen to my son. And you're right, children will bring out of you that protection mode. So we're always trying to run ahead of them because we're just inside, we're all torn up inside, like, oh God, devastation. What has happened? Can you get to the point, to the punchline? What happened? Are you okay? And they're like, no, just listen. I just want you to listen to my heart. So, yeah.
And just get to the point already sometimes. You know, my youngest daughter, she drags out the story. And I just be like, she's gonna get to the point eventually. She's gonna get to it. She's gonna get there. She's gonna get there. Then eventually she gets there. Like, yes, that's the point. Okay, now I can dissect it.
You know they do that stuff on purpose sometimes.
I think it's on purpose too. Just to see if we're gonna sit there and listen.
I know my son be taking all that. I know you can talk faster than that. He said, well, I'm thinking through it. I want to make sure I say this right. I know he gets it from me.
Just a little bit. He get it from me.
Oh, and my son, that's who's on the pictures with me that I sent to you. That's my son. My youngest.
Oh, that's your son.
Oh, who did you think that was?
I didn't know.
I forgot to tell you. Because it just hit me. Oh, yeah, he was in the picture. That's him on all the pictures, my youngest.
Oh, wow, he's handsome.
Oh, he's adorable. Oh, he's a sweetheart. That's a sweetheart right there.
Oh, is that your only one?
No, I have an older son. He's bigger than me, too. Bigger than his brother. But, yeah, I have no, he's 30. I have a 30-year-old. Yeah. Xavier is in his 20s.
Queen, you don't look old enough to have a 30-year-old.
I know. I'm a cowboy.
That's okay, though. That's a blessing. You know what they say, crack black don't crack.
No, and I actually liked the way I looked back then. I didn't suffer from low self-esteem, not at all. No, I liked the way I looked, actually. So I was like, okay, I'm fine. But then I started doing my little ninja warrior move, and I hurt myself. Oh, man, okay. Oh, I can't do that? Oh, okay, I didn't know I couldn't do that. Because I went to physical therapy because I hurt my knee trying to do something. And he was having me do all these moves, and he was like, you told me you were fast and that you were strong, and I just didn't know what to expect, but I've never seen someone your size who can do all those things. I was like, I'm very active. Don't let the weight fool you. I'm active. I just, don't
let it fool you.
Yeah, don't let it fool. Don't get it twisted. I can do all that stuff. And he was like, and I did it, and he was in shock. I said, I can do a lot of things. I said, you need to watch more YouTube.
Yes.
We can do backflips and all the cartwheels, all kinds of stuff. Get on YouTube.
I sent some of the audience members that are down there. I sent you guys some invites. You can come up to the stage and introduce yourself and add value to the conversation or ask a question or get more information about the 10K card if you're not familiar with it. Would you like to come up? I did send you guys some invites to come speak.
And you don't have to.
No pressure.
Yeah, because sometimes I go in the room and they just snatch me on the stage. I know I had to participate in that snatch, but I'm like, oh man, I don't want to go there. And then I feel, well, they invited me. Is it rude to decline? I mean, unless I'm in a meeting or something, I could go ahead. And I'm like, what's the title of the room? Let's see if I can got a question. Let me see if I can come up with a question. Even though I don't have a question, let's figure out what question I can ask now. It's good to add, or what value can I add? And sometimes it'll be a room that I'm like, I have no idea what y'all talking about. I actually came in and by accident, my fingernail hit the wrong one.
That happens a lot to me.
Girl, I ended up in the tarot card room, and I was like, what's happening? What's happening?
The tarot card room?
Yeah. See, the title of the room was, what's your birthday? We're celebrating birthdays. I literally thought that's what that meant. I was like, oh, wait, Daniel, I thought they were going to call birthdays, and just celebrate it and talk about the meeting and all that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That was not the purpose.
That is not cool. There's only one man that I know that can hold that knows the future. And ain't none of y'all him.
Because when I went in there and they pulled me up on the stage, they beat me. I was like, isn't there somebody else that want to talk there? And once I got on the stage, I'm telling you, a feeling of dread came over me, like I've never felt before. I'm like, something feels dark. I feel dark.
You know what? I do believe that God did place vision to people or sight. I do believe that. But I think, when he blesses them and they're not raised in him to serve him and to give back to him, it's used in a negative way per se. It's not used to glorify him. It's not used for his people and to bless his people. It's used for their gain, for their material gain, for their monetary gain. Because there was a lady years ago, Montel Williams used to always use her. I think her name was Erin Brown or Sharon Brown. Yep. Something Brown. Erin or Sharon Brown was her name, and she was, a psychic. And it's crazy because a book she wrote back in like 89, 88 literally described the coronavirus on what now. Wow. It literally described what's happening now in her book, like back in like 88, 89, she wrote this book. And I'm like, wow. And then she said it's just going to disappear like nothing.
I gotta go research that. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I think her name is Erin or Sharon Brown. And Montel Williams always had her on his show.
And Montel was really into healthy, natural, holistic eating. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was such a passion for him because he suffered so much illness
from MS.
Yeah, from MS, and I mean, he was and he was talking about how and why he made that change because he was like, something in our environment is happening. I mean, he was just on it. He was on Dr. Oz. That's how I saw the interview. He was on Dr. Oz now, a show, and I was just really stricken by his conviction. I'm like, well, what are you talking about this in the atmosphere that I heard of?
Yeah.
Well, here it is. Here it is. And I can tell you that a lot of people I know have lost hope.
Yeah, it's crazy because when I was in college, I remember we had to do a debate for marijuana to be legal or for marijuana not to be illegal. And I was for it. My teacher assigned me to be for it. And when I was doing my research, I found out then that this has been on the floor to pass as a bill years before I started researching. And now to see it, I've been out of college about 12, 13 years now, 14 years. And they are just now passing it for some states.
The pandemic forced them to change a lot of things that they were unwilling to change. Mm-hmm. The only reason they did that it has nothing to do with the topic marijuana. It has everything to do with the money and the pipelines that have been created for our people to go to jail because and they want to keep them there because then you got to commute their sentence. You have to release them. They're going to be lawsuits, blah, blah, blah. And all of this stuff is really coming full circle now. Because if you lock everyone up with these little minor charges, you end up with a population that has exploded. The only thing that's going to happen is either they're going to come out and be unemployable without skills, or they're going to go in and learn how to be a real criminal. Well, this got me for that. Let me find out how to be a real criminal. I mean, I've heard it all. And I think that, when people look at bills legislation. They need to understand the underlying issue in all of this, regardless of how much we think it should be changed, is money. It really is about the almighty dollar.
It really is. And, Colorado set the precedence for it because they got out of debt in a year and has not been in debt since
March. Have they realized marijuana farms are going to make more money than putting people in jail? So they said, well, let us try it. I remember when they said we're going to do this and we're going to change this for our state. I have colleagues who left at that time I was getting into credit repair. And these people have multi-million-dollar a year credit repair business. They all started selling their businesses to go to Colorado to form their own dispensary. Either dispensary thing, where they were making edibles or other flavored products, and they never looked back. And most of them did it because they said they knew the benefit, because a lot of them were former veterans and had served and were suffering from PTSD and all those.
Because it does work.
It does work. It does. I was engaged to a guy who had to have it, and I could see the difference in his behavior. Fortunately, in Ohio, they passed the medical status law. So with a medical card, you can get it, from certain dispensaries and facilities. I had never understood it or known anything about it because I'd never used it. But I went with him as I signed up as his caregiver. So if I needed to go pick up something for him, I could. I didn't have to pick it out. It was great to go and drive. But I went in there with him because I really just wanted to see. And it was interesting. It didn't look anything like I thought it was at all. I was like, I thought it was going to be a whole bunch of plants and stuff around. He's like, no. It was like a pharmacy. It was clean and neat. And that's pretty spotless. I was shocked. And all these products were locked up in a safe, and the pharmacist or nurse had to go get it and bring it to you in tiny little samples. I'm like, this is it.
I believe we're up to maybe 38 or 40 states, maybe between 38 and 42 states. Now it's legal.
Now that they passed that law, and if they passed it on the federal level, saying it was no longer illegal, now the states have to overturn their law.
Yeah.
So federally, it can't be a federal crime. So they might as well just toss it out. They said it would probably take a year or two for them to get it in every single state. Personally, the only problem I really have with it is, smell. I cannot. I have asthma. I can't deal with all this. The smell is what bothers me, even the flavorful kind. So
I like the smell of it.
It's after it's smoked, it has this odor. And I cannot. It makes me gag. So yeah, I'm just sensitive to smoke.
See. Well, Queen, it is almost 1:30. We've had this room open 3.5 hours.
Okay, it's time to go to bed. Y'all ain't got to go home, but we got to get us out.
And Queen, good luck on tomorrow. Wishing you all the blessings and much, much success. And I pray that whatever you pray to get out of it, you get out of it and more.
Thank you so much. Because I'm telling you, people be getting jealous out here in these streets. I'm like, how y'all get jealous when we on here? And girls, the backstabbing. I cannot. I'm like, no, I just don't believe in God's name. All the underhanded. I said, but that's all. That is with me. I'm just gonna listen to it. Let my vibration increase.
Yes.
Focus on that, because y'all have the things that bring me down with you. I'm gonna be happy, and that's
I'll be happy regardless.
I know it. That's what makes them mad at me.
Yeah.
Oh, they like get her.
My goal is to get 10 haters every week.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah.
But we would like to thank everyone for popping into our room, showing up in our room 10K card. If you like what you've heard, and one of us moderators I've resonated with you. Please follow all of us, and please follow the 10K Clubhouse room. Tap that greenhouse up there, and then you'll be able to follow us. And we are here every day, 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. And I am Melissa Cole, the credit specialist, and I empower my community by educating them on the power of credit. Queen Wise, get your axe roll.
Oh, there we go.
I love it.
I'm the Wise CEO, and I bid you adieu. And I'll see y'all next time.
Queen Pamela, are you there? Coach, are you there? John, are you there?
Hello.
Oh, Coach,
Let's go.
Man, yeah, he is.
All right, I'm just here, guys.
Oh, you want to do time.
Coach, any last words from you?
Well, what I can say is, let's go!
All right, we are going to shut this room down. Please come every day, 10 a.m., 10 p.m. to 10K card room. And we are out.